Market futures slightly lower here to start on a Friday morning as we get going into the final day of the week. That's been pretty eventful, to say the least. We are going to get a whole bunch of Fed speak coming up once again this morning, a little bit later on, but starting with Fed Chair Powell at 9 o'clock. We'll get comments, at least, from Fed Chair Powell. Looks to be, anyways, that he'll just be giving the opening remarks at this event this morning. So might be nothing, might be something. We'll keep an eye on that. And then a few more coming up around lunchtime today. Whole bunch of things moving around as far as individual movers. We'll keep an eye on Reddit, obviously, coming off. Pretty exciting day yesterday. A lot of back and forth action for Reddit. Lululemon downside in a big way off earnings. Nike in play as well, was higher, no longer. Downside here, we'll get Tesla in focus this morning as well. Cutting production over in China. Never want to hear that from Tesla. It's Friday, March 22nd, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Now, there's a look at the NASDAQ right now. Yeah, downside the last few minutes here in a pretty big way. That's a 15-minute chart of the Qs right now, back below 445. It's only 0.3%, so let's put some perspective on this a little bit. Coming off a couple of days back to the upside. I mean, we started higher yesterday. Bit of a sell-off into the close. We ended basically where the Fed day back on Wednesday ended. That was very, very bullish. Very dovish. Fed Chair Powell, if you remember, back on Wednesday. We'll see if the tone changes at all coming up this morning. I doubt it will. I mean, I was saying to Frank yesterday, I don't think there's anything else he could say at this point that, you know, unless he just does a very strange 360 on his comments, but I can't see that happening.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, Brendo. It's been really interesting.
Sharif turning his mic on. Just give him a second. It's Friday. No, we're just talking just on the fact that it's pretty directional at this point, I think, as far as the opinion of the Fed. So we'll see what he has to say this morning.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Brendo. I mean, we haven't gotten any new economic data overnight or since his last speech to kind of really warrant any change here. There has been a lot of market exuberance. You have to suspect whether he has his eye on the market to see what they're pricing in. So sometimes, you know, you want to hit the brake a little bit, but I doubt we'll see that. A lot of earnings to talk about, Brendo, a lot of retail earnings, Nike, Lululemon coming worse than expected. Lots to chat about.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you that he's not supposed to look at the market, but we all know that maybe under the table they are. Here's Baidu, meanwhile, up 4% or 4.8% right now. It was more than 5%. Nice pop on this note. Apple holding talks with China's Baidu over AI use, possibly in China. I mean, we haven't heard much from Ernie, which was Baidu's AI, since a bit of a lackluster debut for it, but a bit of a surprise here for Baidu.
It's funny though, yeah, because well, we saw what they did with Google. So you know they farmed out search to Google initially, and then with AI, looks like they're doing it again. So it stands to reason here that, you know, they're looking to a Chinese counterpart to bring AI for the Chinese users. We know obviously that they're using Chinese search engines on those on the China iPhone. So we'll have to see how it does. Baidu up nicely.
Yeah, we'll touch on a few earnings, as you mentioned, coming up here this morning. One that we kind of glanced at yesterday in the afternoon was FedEx. From an overall economic standpoint, FedEx with a nice report to the upside this morning to the tune of 11% here. One of the bright spots so far as the earnings reports are concerned. Retail, on the other hand, not so much. Both Lululemon and Nike with weaker than expected forecasts pointing to the possibility of a bit of a slowdown from the consumer side of things going into the latter half of this year. But absolute monstrous report for Lululemon. I mean, I was in a store 2 weeks ago and it was a Saturday, but it was still shoulder to shoulder in every single Lululemon, I think, at this point. So sales are fine at this point, but they are expecting a bit of a slowdown going into the second half of the year. Neil, continuing his holiday this morning. It's Brankles Day around here. Good morning, guys.
Are we going with, Brandon or Brankles?
Day.
You see, you got your mic on? It's on.
Is it on? Okay. They hear me? The people hear me?
The people are going to be happy with you today.
Oh my God.
Are we going with Brankles or Brandon? What do you want?
Brankles.
Brankles.
We don't want to confuse the people, right? We have a Brandon back there, and I'm Brankles.
Okay. So you ready to go?
I mean, I definitely didn't get my beauty sleep this morning compared to usual, but
Yeah, you look fantastic.
yeah. We had a good
we
got a good workout
you-
last night, so Sharif's happy with me.
You knew you were coming on, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of. At 4 o'clock when you mentioned it yesterday.
I know. Thanks, Neil,
But
for that.
that's on me. That's on me. He did tell me the date. I did forget.
Okay. Anyways, no, it's gonna be a great
Yeah.
time. Brankles manages the floor back here, so maybe he'll have some stories, or maybe not, and then we'll figure all that out. Is anything happening tonight? Are the boys going out tonight, or?
I mean, depending on weather, I have to drive to Ottawa to see the future in-laws. So we're gonna find out.
You know what the thing is? It's supposed to be bad weather.
Yes.
Real bad weather.
Snow.
Tonight is there's actually warnings tonight.
Yes. 5 to
For
10.
hopefully the last time. What's on your mind today? I'm looking at Tesla. I think we got some good earnings there. Nike, Lulu, FedEx. I like the Tesla. Reddit. Good. You had a great trade on Reddit yesterday.
Yeah. So obviously this week has been pretty busy in terms of IPOs with ALAB and Reddit. So yesterday Reddit did the beautiful IPO thing, which is just to open and go straight up, right? So we like when that happens. And ALAB on its second day went at $10 right off the open. So not obviously different industries, different stocks, but we're hoping for kind of like a second move on Reddit to see if that happens. If not, we just hang out and talk with Sean all day.
Yep.
If it does, we'll be trading it. Just full disclosure, I am not comfortable trading on the show. There's a lot of lights on me, so I will be trading in
All of the
simulation
lights.
today. All of the lights.
All
yeah.
of the lights.
So just for
Kanye.
reference. But still, like, you could get good reps in simulation and practice. Like, obviously, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, we're here.
Yeah,
We're here.
we're out here.
We're out here. Trader TV Live is going to be a fun show, and we're excited to get ready to rock and roll. We'll talk all about these earnings plays and all that as we go.
Yeah.
We've got watchlist.tradertv.live. We've got said sticky note here. I'm just trying to figure out which two names I want to add to the list here. I think we'll have to trade some Nike for sure underneath that $100 mark. We really like that short coming into today. Yeah, all is not well in China. So we've seen Tesla to the downside on China worries, Nike on China worries, Lululemon on the retail side of things as well. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a problem there down in that end. So all right, we'll go back to the desk and let's get this show started.
If you're just joining, both Nike and Lululemon under pressure here. Nike straight up coming out saying revenue is going to be downside for the remainder of the year. Lululemon suggesting sales might take a hit going into Q3 and Q4. I think across the board, the sentiment at this point is people are expecting a little bit of a slowdown on the economic side of things going into the latter half of this year, which, I mean, if we start getting interest rate cuts coming up in June, you would think that would be, you know, positive for the overall economy. But I think it's already been incredibly strong for the past few months here.
You know, really the only thing I can think of, Brendo, is that it might help alleviate some of the credit card stress. We know credit card debt all-time high, over $1 trillion in the United States, and you have to assume with the higher rates comes higher credit card interest. So, you know, if there is some alleviation in that regard, that could help the consumer a little bit. But also, Brendo, I was reading there's an aggressive shift in spending on retail and goods and more, hey, let me experience, I was stuck at home for 2 years, I need to go, I need to smell fresh air.
Yeah, I
so
think
that's where the money's going.
I think there's still some of that money sitting around on the sidelines as well, discretionary wise. Let's talk about Reddit here real quick. Again, holding right now under $50, just above us, $49.80, $50 coming into play here, down 2.8%. Sean, you made a great point yesterday coming off the debut. And sure enough, we wake up this morning and all the news broadcasts and the business broadcasts saying, massive debut, 60% to the upside for Reddit shares on day one. And obviously that's based off the IPO pricing, not necessarily what happened during the day yesterday.
Hey, look, it opened at 47. So I was watching it live. It opened at 47. It closed out at $50.44. All right, so 344 upside. But in all reality, we know that the insiders were buying at 34, which was the high end of the range. It was speculated that it would launch between $31 to $34 a share. That gave it a $6.5 billion valuation, where it closed out yesterday, Brendo. It gave it an over $7 billion valuation. $7.5 billion, I think I was reading. $9.5 billion, excuse me, at $50.44. So good look there. We'll have to see how they do.
Yeah, just seeing a few people mentioning Baidu again. There's some Apple-related headlines for Baidu today, up big time here, 5.25%. Apple apparently talking to BIDU about Ernie.
I got to go. Shout out to Anthony. Yeah, today it's the red and black eye watch here today. He asked me what watch we were wearing today. It's nothing fancy. You know, he got on the hoodie. I'm here with my Captain Casual over here, and we're gonna keep it cash right now.
It is Friday.
It's Casual Friday.
Yeah.
So I got the.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the Trader TV Live?
Feel this.
Oh, that's nice. Where's the Trader TV Live hoodie?
I was wearing it last week.
Okay.
I like you have the Trader TV Live.
I love
hoodie
that
too.
hoodie.
We got to bring it back, man. Make merch great again.
Yeah, honestly.
Make merchandise great again. Let's start that as a tag, and then maybe we can get some.
Yeah. Do you guys want merch? I want merch. I want free merch from the company.
Wait, hold on. It's like you want what?
I want free merch, but they have to pay for it.
Why is the word free in there?
Well, because I work here.
Okay, so therefore you get free merch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's questions on whether or not you're overpaid to begin with.
Definitely.
I'm playing around. Give this man a raise. Give this man a raise. I have nothing to do with this man. He works for Real Trading.
I do work for Real Trading. That's so weird to say.
Isn't that so weird to
Yeah.
say? What,
How many-
that you're actually employed or that you work for Real Trading?
What do you mean? You heard me in the background yesterday. I was doing my job.
I kind of want to host like a talk show. Like I just want to like forget about this trading stuff. Guys like me and you, we hang out.
Well, isn't that why you're building that background?
And on that note, wow, look at that. It's almost like, you know, we knew what we were getting to there. We have a podcast.
Yeah.
You want to come on the podcast one time?
Sure. I'd do it. How long
Do
is
I have
it?
to give you merch if you want to come on?
Yeah, at least something. Come on.
I was on the podcast merch. Yeah, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Check it out. Me and Brendan will be doing it tonight. And then, yeah, we're building a special room for be more podcast-like.
Have you been in it lately? They built the door like this thick. You're not going to be able to hear me like right outside the door.
Oh, yeah. People want to know what you were yelling about the other day.
Oh, OPC pending. So yesterday, you guys probably heard me in the background. I was yelling at all my traders, trying not to swear, and essentially telling them not to throw orders into market. So what happens is, from time to time, unfortunately, we lose connection with the broker. Very rarely, but when it happens, people are quite unprepared for it. And yesterday was one of those moments where right off open, we lost connection. So people didn't know if there were orders are out to market. Or if what was going on. So essentially, I have to get up and start yelling at people to either cancel what orders they can, to stop throwing orders until the back office tells us it's okay. Sean, like the legend he is, just kept going.
It's funny because yesterday I look at yesterday we had OPC server was down. It was pretty nasty. I look at my messages and there's one from Branko's here and he's like, dude, the system I'm not sure about the cancels and the confirms or anything. I'm just like, all right, well, it seems like it's fine. I'm like, I'm getting it's 2 minutes delayed. I'm like, anyways.
Sure, just black. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. Anyways, yeah, so that's part of what we do here at Real Trading, right? Every floor has a floor manager. We're lucky enough to basically have two with Wayne as the training manager and yourself and you just came from training manager into manager role because Gregory is now in Montreal.
Rest in peace.
So you rest in peace.
Yes,
okay, sorry, he's still alive, yep. Rest in peace for him here, but I don't think you say rest in peace when people just leave a job.
He's dead to me.
He's dead. Oh, shit.
Like, I love him. I love him as a man, but he's dead to me as a manager.
Yeah, as a manager. That makes sense. This is going to be a great show. I don't even know.
I'm not awake yet. I don't know about you.
Was there something we were supposed to be talking about?
Real trading?
Real trading, yeah. It's a great opportunity for everybody to get on a floor like this. It's a Friday, and it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
It's a Friday.
Oh, Reddit. That's what it was. So I had Reddit up. So, Brendan, that's exactly what we said would happen. Everyone would come in yesterday. We said Reddit would be up 65%. Then all of a sudden, it was up 30%. Then it was back up 70% or whatever. And we end the day up 30%. And then all the headlines are like, what a successful IPO for Reddit. But was it? I mean, you started off here at 47. We went all the way to 58. That happens pretty much every single time. My guy over here talked about Astera the other day, A-Lab, very, very similar motion to that ocean. And then now, the thing that I like about it was at least it looks like we might have found some support. Like if you say this was kind of over exuberance to the upside, then this was probably the same thing to the downside, just happening an hour later. So I would say if you cancel out this and you cancel out that, you would use this area 47-ish hard to predict within 50 cents here, but 47, 47.50, 46.50 as an area for support. And then if we get long and we really like some of these breakouts, which I'm sure some of the traders behind us will be in today, breaking through 50 into 51.50, then taking those levels out and landing somewhere in this area where you take your first piece out, 53, 53 half, 55, and then you get to see if we do want to support or break that top. So that's how I think I'll be playing Reddit. I just paid for shorts. It's only $2 per 100 shares here, so you basically just need to make the 20 cents back. $2, 100 shares, 20 cents. So yeah, that would only be $2. Yeah. So 20 cents. So I think it's well worth the pay there for Reddit shares. So yeah, breakthrough 51.50. I like the long, and we like the long also down there near 45, 46. So let's wait to see.
Yeah, one thing we could also touch on Reddit is compared to ALAB because this is its second day and ALAB's third day. ALAB's second day, it opened up like 2 or 3% higher, whereas Reddit right now is down 2%. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, where it's like it's not showing the strength in pre-market. That being said, yeah, like this is the second day the stock's ever traded. There's going to still be a lot of price discovery. So I definitely think there's a lot of opportunity to be had. And I hope the guys behind me, as they start strolling in late,
we should fire some of these guys. I noticed that.
I've been close many times.
I think you're onto something here.
Yeah, just, got to spark up the floor sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
We can go back. Oh, look at this. Right on time. Here we go. Wow, look at this man. Man of many talents over here. 3 coffees.
Wow.
All right.
Thanks, Randy.
FedEx is going straight to the upside. All right, cheers. Thank you, Randy. All right, cheers, Brancos. Yeah,
Cheers.
that's right.
To a good day.
That's a guy I like. Downs one coffee and immediately grabs another one. I like that.
I'm still sleeping.
Hey, let's go back to the desk.
What a concept. A few people are still confused as to who the hell is sitting beside Sean this morning. If you're watching the show any other day of the week and you hear somebody yelling in the background, that's him. That's Brankles. He's the floor manager. Shout out to him. Thank you, Brandon, for sitting in for Neil today. Let's bring in Michael Moss here, CMT over at Trade Ideas, for a look at not only how the week went, but a really interesting concept that we've kind of been hinting at over the past couple of weeks on the show, Mr. Noss, in that we've started to see a little bit of rotation coming out of some of the high-flying stocks that have done so well so far this year, and going into places that I think people aren't yet paying attention to, maybe, but we're starting to see that money flow anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, I was in the green room just listening to the guys riff up there and laughing. One thing I also wanted to mention just quickly, because they were talking about Reddit, and I was bringing up the chart while I was in the green room. A little tip, just something that I read, I guess, when I was doing the CMT, is that it's 85% of all IPOs undercut their IPO price at some point in the first 6 months of trading. So do with that what you will. It's just sometimes you hear something and you have little tidbits in your head that you wanna pass on. But yeah, we're gonna talk about sector rotation today, and we're gonna do that because I've been talking all the time about how I'm interested in other sectors other than semis the whole time. And I had a viewer hit me up on Twitter, which I always appreciate, and said, "Hey, can you slow down and explain a little bit more about this concept of sector rotation?" So I have a lot of charts which I will be going through quickly, but it's going to cover this whole kind of concept. So the first chart I want to look at is just the S&P 500 and talk about how this line that I've drawn, and this is the area that I kind of want to focus on for the first few charts, is our 2020 or March, call it 2024 highs that we pulled back into when we broke out of yesterday and the day before. The reason that area is going to be important because we're going to use this to kind of illustrate that there is money, like Brendo just said, flowing a little bit out of the semiconductors and into other aspects. And I talked about this a little bit on the after-hour shows when I was talking with Sean and with Neil. But you got to think of the guys who really move the market, which are large institutions and large funds. They, generally speaking, will have mandates that they have to be fully invested at any given time. They're not allowed to go to cash and wait for a good opportunity like we are. That's one advantage we have as retail traders. So this idea of sector rotation just says that if if the money has to be somewhere, it has to be in bonds, or it has to be in gold, or it has to be in marijuana stocks, or whatever it is, then our job as traders is to try to figure out what the institutions are going to be going into next. And if we can follow them and we can have kind of a hint of what we can pop into next, then we know that we can kind of be, riding the wave, I guess, of these institutions. And that's what I'm looking for. So you need to understand, again, these large institutions, they can't just get into and out of a position. It takes them time to get into and out of positions. And what we're doing as chartists and as technical analysts is trying our best, and we'll never get it perfectly, but trying our best to figure out when and where money is going to move. So the next chart I have here is just the SMH, and I have a line drawn on the same area, and you can see the SMH is under that high. So the S&P 500, we all talk about the market, but it is just a bunch of stocks. It's 500 stocks right now, heavily weighted to tech, and has been for years and years and years, and maybe for a long time going forward. So if tech and if semiconductors are under that recent high, and the S&P 500's over that recent high, that means that at some point there's something else that's pushing the market up. That's not Nvidia, that it's not big tech, right? Apple is 7% of the index, I think, at one point, and it's making new lows. And Tesla is a big part of the index, and that one's making new lows. So just that alone should tell us that there's something else out there that's moving, that's pushing this index higher, and that's what we need to focus on. So this next chart is just gold, and what I showed you guys when I was talking about gold sector rotation, and you can see how it's holding right near its highs, and this was around that same time, around March, when the market was chopping near highs as well, but we note that that semiconductor index was actually pulling back. And the next chart is just where gold is now. So you can see a nice solid breakout. So this could give us evidence that some of these moves are taking place where, they're selling some semiconductors, taking some profits on an amazing move that we had on semiconductors, and gold might be one of those areas. The next one here is XLE, and it was the same thing. So I'm looking at this chart and I'm saying, well, the SPY's not moving. Semiconductors are selling off a little bit. XLE seems to be bouncing off this very clear level. And then if we go to the next chart, you can see that that's continuing. And then last but not least, we have MSOS, which I talked about on Monday. And this is what it looked like on Monday. And then the next chart is what it looks like today. So a nice little push up and continuing as well. So the reason that I bring up those charts is if you put in the context that we are still well below that high on semiconductors, but all of these other sectors are moving, that is really all we need. There's some more advanced ways to try to find sector rotation, but that's really all we need to make sure that we are constantly focused on this, because what we don't want to do, and what happens a lot in the market, and what we're trying not to be, is the exit liquidity for retail or for institutions, which essentially institutions buy, and then the news cycle starts to pick up that whatever the institutions bought is the greatest thing in the world. And then you have this last little spike and you have retail FOMOing in, and retail FOMOing in is when institutions are selling. And right now, when we're having this rotation happen, what I'm trying to be is not FOMOing into things that institutions have been in for a long time and they're looking to sell. I'm trying to look now for what can happen next. So what I'm going to be doing this weekend and showing you guys on Monday is hopefully another sector that I think is interesting, and then some names within that sector. So I hope that did a little better job of breaking down sector rotation. The last chart I just have here is NVIDIA. And I just want to say that these things may not be dead forever. NVIDIA has been chopping sideways for a couple weeks, but if money starts to rotate back into it, there'll be evidence of that on the chart, and we will, I'll look to get involved there. It's not that I'm anti these sectors. I just want to make sure that I'm not the guy buying the top, and I'm looking for other things that this money could flow into.
I think in the past, a lot of people have expected a pullback when these types of rallies, we're not even getting a pullback. It's more like a pause, as you were saying. But the point here is that we're looking for, obviously the market's not pulling back, so therefore there's something that's still showing relative strength and something that's still showing or leading the market, or maybe taking more of a leadership role than some of the semiconductors. So how much does volume come into play for you from that sense? If you see relative volume specifically ticking higher, on a week over week or day over day basis. Plus, you're seeing some of the semiconductors calm down on the volume side. That's typically an indication.
Yeah, I love volume as an indicator because we are talking about large institutions and they can't, if you're buying the MSOS sectors, the marijuana sector, if you're buying billions of dollars in that, you can't hide your volume. So that's going to show up somewhere in the chart. So that is a really good point that you could simply for the day, and this is something you can do in trade ideas, is you could just grab all the sectors and say, show me which ones are doing the most relative volume, and that will get you a place to look. You can also just look and say, okay, if the market is down or sideways, let me look at what sectors are up. That's what I do a lot of as well. But yeah, volume, momentum, all of these things, they just have to exist when an institution is trading, because of just the size of them. So that's the benefit, again, we have as retail traders, is we can try to focus on where the big money is flowing and see that in price and volume.
Mr. Noss, great insight as always. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll speak again on Monday.
Talk to you Monday.
Michael, yeah, I mean, I think that's important. You talked about the trade idea scanners there, and I know that that is one of the biggest things that all of us use. I mean, even here, we have trade ideas. Go get it right now. Trader TV 20, get 20% off. We talk about VWAP scanners. Like if there's certain things that are hit, if you're looking at certain alerts to get hit, whether or not it be an anchored VWAP or a volume alert, as we were just talking about, proof that levels are breaking. Just as Michael said, maybe we don't get an NVIDIA now, but as you see money start to flow back into it, you're looking for those big green candles, looking for volume spikes, definitely, I think software in that situation and some of the AI that even trade ideas can give to you. Now, he's not there.
That's scary. I thought he was there.
I had to no, just joking. That was so scary, right? Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
But anyways, I just think that's something that I know that even traders, we won't give away, all of the secrets of the floor. But yeah, there's alerts that are used here, right? Obviously.
Yeah, that actually reminds me, my trade ideas ran out, so I need to message Michael Noss.
Your trade ideas ran out?
Yeah, he's my connect to trade ideas, so I do need to talk to him.
We'll probably be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
You use trade ideas?
Yeah. Where do you think I find all my SSR names?
There we go. So there you go. That's it. Look at this guy, always a professional over here. Look at this guy. Selling when he's doesn't even need to. Yeah, but that's another thing. There's another alert, right? SSR alerts. What's down 10%? Yeah. What are winning those races that we always wind up showing on
the races are great.
Anyways, I'm working on the sticky note. Make sure you go find that at Trader TV, Sean. And we also have our watch list out, which we're going to go over immediately. So watchlist.tradertv.live. It's loaded with some names today, man. A lot of good trading opportunities here on a Friday.
Okay. We'll get some analyst moves coming up here this morning. We were wondering where we're going to go there. We're just working on some audio issues with Adara, but a lot of analyst moves on the earnings side of things this morning. I mean, Lululemon, anytime you get a report, regardless of whether it's positive or negative, everyone has to chime in with opinions on said earnings. So let's go over to Adara right now and get a few of those.
In that vein, Foot Locker leading the upgrades list here, another athletic apparel-related brand. Citigroup upgrading this one up over 2%, so nice look for FL. Sonova getting an upgrade here from Janney and trading up quite nicely as well. Verizon getting an upgrade from TD Cowen, and TD Cowen also upgrading Charles Schwab. On the downgrade side, Nike, another major earnings name from today, getting downgraded by RBC Capital Markets. Pfizer getting a downgrade here from Argus. Solar Edge getting downgraded also by Janney. And last but not least, Vulcan here getting a downgrade from JP Morgan Chase. Lots of big names on the board today, guys.
Okay, so, all right, I'm not going to talk about Nike because we're going to talk about that because we are going to come up with Nike in a minute on our watch list. But what name's not on the watch list is Foot Locker. Can you tell when Foot Locker reports like boom, boom, boom? It's just like every single time, oh, thanks, there's their August report, here's their most recent report, here's their report back in May. So it's just like they get hammered, but guess what? Every gap tries to get filled. So right here, we almost got this gap filled back all the way here. Well, I guess we did. Up there to $38, that came back. right? This gap boomed out of the downside, that came back, and right now we just have another gap right here, and now starting to have a little bit of life again. So if Foot Locker is getting upgraded, I'd like to go find out the reasons for that, because I thought retail, and this is what I'm going to get at with Nike, Nike's actually closing and guiding down on some of the franchise stores that they have. So to me, that would be a negative sign for Foot Locker, but it's funny that they get upgraded today on what I thought was kind of like bad retail environment news there, with Nike talking about their franchises and then some of their online, their direct-to-consumer sales as well. When I know Foot Locker, actually, funny story, last night I was sitting on the couch and I had the Foot Locker app open and I was surfing shoes. And then I had the Nike app open and was surfing shoes, and the wife came back over and she was looking, I don't know whatever, talking, and she goes, oh, you know, you're looking up shoes. And I was like, yeah. And then we come in today.
You're a big shoe guy.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, well, I like to wear different shoes for sure.
I like shoes too.
Yeah, I like shoes as well. Yeah. You want to prepare Birkenstocks?
No, but I should. Those are comfy.
Yeah. I don't own any either, but my family owns
My
like
feet are
4
just
or 5
like
pairs.
my feet just look really weird in sandals.
Let's not talk about feet here, because our audience is going to get excited.
They don't like
about
feet.
this.
You guys don't like feet.
Don't. No, they probably do. This is what I'm saying.
Oh.
All right. So, anyways, yeah. Anything on that upgrade or downgrade? So basically, I was just saying, surprised a little bit by Foot Locker. Let's figure that out, because if we take this 200 period Brankos right here,
yep.
I actually like this trade, because here's some consolidation. You know, you get down here, you get a bad earnings report similar to that Pan W and Adobe kind of stuff, and now you're looking to take out this 200. You take that out, next level up into here, and then maybe we do fill that gap. So Foot Locker. I don't know.
The beauty about the market right now is that we're like kind of closing in on all-time highs again. So anything in the morning that pops up, that's gapping up, that's doing volume, that's going to be your best shot at finding a good long, right? So whether it's Foot Locker, Nike, or anything off earnings with a good catalyst, that's where you want to be looking, right? Everyone always tries to overcomplicate trading, right? Just what's the plan? You want to go long something. Okay, the market's hot. Okay, what's doing volume? What has a catalyst? Find your levels and take good shots, okay? Be in control of your emotions, be in control of your risk, and then the rest isn't up to you, right? Everyone believes that they have some sort of willpower when they're taking trades, right? Or sort of will to kind of push the stock in their direction. It's like, no, like I don't decide if this thing goes up or down. I know Sean might, because, you know, he's just been here for 20 years. He knows exactly what's going to happen.
Right,
but
that's exactly right. I know exactly what's about to happen.
I mean, you know.
But it's just funny you say control your emotions, and there's probably two more emotional people around here than you and I, probably.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, people are like, "Oh,
I'm just loud. I don't know if
people
I'm
see you on a. You're just loud, not emotional. I
Yeah.
mean, that's your expressing your emotions.
No, just because like my parents are Russian, so I just got
flatten that position. Don't trade. All right, let's go back over to the desk.
All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here. Almost 9 o'clock. Yes, we are at 9 o'clock, heading towards the open on a Friday. Sharif's going to lead it off with a look at the market.
53.02, the first time ever we close above 5,300. We're below it right now, trading at 52.99. The overnight high, 53.11. Let's see if we can reclaim that 5,300, use it as a level of support. If not, it's going to act as resistance. The overnight low, 52.92.
Just keep in mind, guys, we are expecting, I'm not seeing it anywhere yet, but we are expecting Fed Chair Powell here at some point. So watch the overall market. Let's get into, meanwhile, everything else we need to discuss as we head towards 9:30. If you haven't done so, go to tradertv.live. You'll see that pop-up come appear on screen. All you do is enter your email address, and then you get that every single day delivered right to your inbox. I'm just waiting here for some confirmation as far as video is concerned of Fed Chair Powell on a microphone, but I think he has actually started to speak here, so just keep an eye on the market. Anyway, let's talk about Reddit. Pretty good debut yesterday, comes out at 47. We top out around 58 bucks. Bit of a pullback throughout the remainder of the day. We're basically flat here this morning, but decent amount of volume down here, even with it down 2%.
Yeah, it was a big move up, 48% off the initial public offering price of $34. This IPO helped them raise about $750 million. The stock opened up at 47. It popped up to 57.80 at the highs. The closing price was 50.44. We'll have to see how they do. There, a lot of people talking about their profitability. So, more to come.
You can actually see him on here. Let me show you this. The feed's not working, but he is apparently speaking right now. So just be aware, guys, for Fetcher Powell.
Yeah, they are. So he was just phoning us to let us know they're having some difficulties with the feed there.
Oh, okay.
But no, we talked about Reddit, and I said this yesterday. Congratulations, Branko's had a good trade on that one. We had a couple decent trades on Reddit as well, and I feel like it was just the same old story, but you had to sit there and take that long right off the open if you liked it. Or I really feel like a good trade there was a key level break of 50. I only crossed up 30 pennies and actually missed it. That trade was a rocket ship right there early. So this is a perfect example of exactly what Branko's and Michael Noss were talking about there. When momentum's in names, you can get lifted. Like, you'll see NVIDIA go $20. You'll see Tesla go 5 or 6 and won't even stop. It'll just, once you get the right way, you can ride these things. And just like a roller coaster, this actually looks like a Six Flag roller coaster. You're straight up and then you're down and you go back up again, then you crack down. It's like, okay, let's go back up. But then right at the end, you get a little bit of a movement downside. So it was a fun trade. I feel like this 51.50 there. And I just put the sticky note out and I just said good volume and pretty fun trade. Like there's going to be levels here. It's going to give you an opportunity to make a couple bucks either way here. I like this little level break right there at 51.50. I feel like we tested it back before we went down on that second ride. And then we tested it again and then went down. So for me, I'm going to look long because it's day two. We have ALAB here as sort of an example. And again, we sort of brought that up earlier, where you had some nice movements on the first day and then continued again. And then yesterday, a little bit of a down round for them as all attention went over there to Reddit. So I feel like you can get second day exposure here, and that's what Reddit needs. RDT. See, sometimes when you push next stock, like it was clearly Reddit, goes back to Foot Locker there. But yeah, I like those levels, and then maybe I'll zoom back out one more time. Also a dip into here, 45, 46. Those are the only two levels I wrote down. Let's try longs down here. Let's try a break right there. And then other than that, if it's a short, we've paid for shorts, and we will go short. But early, I'm going to look long, despite it being down 2%. I want to see some of those degens get back into this name and buy the stock back up.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard me yesterday call it out. So 53, so on the way back down, I yelled out 53 is your mom's stop, and then 50 was your grandpa's stop. So those are kind of the levels that I'm looking back today. And why do I say that? It's because there were just clear areas on a minute chart where after that first kind of candle move down yesterday, I don't know if I could show you guys. I could like scroll back maybe. Give me a second here.
Zoom out, man. Oh, you have the wrong times.
What do you mean?
It's because it's going through the whole night. See?
Jesus Christ. Oh, we're here. Okay, so yesterday, as you can see here, we had huge momentum. This is a 3-minute chart. We had huge momentum off the open, visualized by the kind of the...
Click on the arrow so that you can get the crosshairs.
Gotcha, buddy. Okay, so you can visualize here that there was huge volume off the open, and that's what's going to drive stocks in any direction. And then you had that kind of move up, and then in this first kind of down red candle here, we had kind of 52.70 holding, I would say 53. So when it made that secondary move up and didn't break the high, I called out 53 is going to be your grandpa's stop. Or your mom's stop, because your mom is kind of quicker, she's still a little younger, she has the quicker hands, so she could put in that stop for 53. She thinks a little faster, right? But unfortunately, you also have your grandpa, and your grandpa's stop is 50 because he's a little lazy, he's a little tired, he might have fallen asleep a bit. So you knew that people that caught the long that didn't cover and were a little greedy were probably going to put their stop at 50. So those were areas yesterday where if you want to look for shorts or you want to look for like the backside, finding where your mom's and grandpa's stops are always a good sign for good entries. Wow, Sean just left me out to hang, eh? All right. Okay, what else do we have here? Yeah, so for Reddit, no, you could go back to my chart. Don't look at me. My hair's a mess. Okay. So we have a chart here. Oh, my face is blocking it. All right, let's move it here. So I have my chart here. It's on a 15-minute. I got some lines here. So these are kind of the levels I'm looking at today. Obviously, this like 45 area was the low. And then you have like 52, 53 as your mom's stop, 55, 50, and then all-time highs. So if Reddit's going to be good, like we have to break all-time highs today to continue. Obviously, we have a long way to go to get there, but that's my expectation for a good day on this stock is that we're breaking all-time highs and doing kind of like a secondary day move. And if not, I'm not really interested until we get back down to 45. Oh, here we go. Hey, Sean.
What's going on?
I don't know. I just started rambling.
Good, perfect. You're on the right show for that. All right, back over to the Ramblers.
Thanks, Sean.
I don't even know how to follow that up.
Yeah, he doesn't talk that much.
No. Let's talk about Lululemon. Earnings absolutely monstrous for Lulu across the board. It was the forecast that was a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
The initial move here, it doesn't look like much, but the initial move after the close yesterday was actually higher. And then it just gets smoked on the actual forecast. They came out and said that they are expecting the consumer side of things to slow down a little bit, not only into next quarter, but into the latter half of this year as well. Nike following suit on that. We'll get to that, I'm sure, at some point. But yeah, 13% here for Lulu.
Yeah, it was a tough look, Brendo. It's they beat on the top and bottom line. The issue was demand in North America, which is their largest market. They grew 9% in America, but they're looking at declining growth, as they also mentioned the shift in spending between goods on services. So we'll have to see how they do. The week guide really sent this one down. They guided 2.18 billion to 2.2 billion. The street was looking for 2.25 billion. So down we go.
I'm actually surprised by this. It's only trading 60 times earnings. PE 60 on Lulu.
It's not bad. Well,
I thought it would
for a retailer, that's kind of high,
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Just to confirm, Fed Chair Powell does not comment on monetary policy. So it was just opening remarks at this event that's taking place, guys.
Yeah, so we'll have to find out about that. I don't know if Powell's going to move the markets too much. I mean, we already saw 2 days ago was the big event, and what's happening now is just a sort of follow the leader here. And I think that if we're going to talk about some retail names, today was a bad day for many of them, right? Retail, Lulu and Nike both come out. And you know what? The funny thing is we have our watch list here. You can go get it, watch us on tradertv.live. We'll have all the numbers in there. But they both beat on top and the bottom line. The problem is that the guides were bad. And sometimes I feel that you get sandbags. And what I mean by that is like, we saw that with Palo Alto, slightly guide down, Adobe, all these guys. They come out with great quarters and they beat analyst expectations, and then this is what happens to the market. So you know what I think about that? Why the heck are we even expecting anything? Like if you're gonna come out and beat the numbers that the street is expecting you to put up, and then you're just gonna say, well, we beat the numbers, but then, we do think that potentially sales could be a little worse moving forward than the numbers that these other analysts have guided for anyways. So it's like we beat the numbers on the street and then we say, well, we might not beat the numbers next time. So when we get hit down 13%, when those numbers are clearly been wrong this time. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about Lululemon other than I want to buy names that have good channel checks. Brendan talks about it all the time. Goes to the stores, sees the lineups. The same situation's happening in my house. I just recently got Lulu pants and stuff like that. Let alone, you guys know I have a wife and a daughter that want to wear all that kind of stuff, like the big brand names.
Yeah.
They've been around for 30 years. It's a successful company, and they never really disappoint. But we had Danielle Shea on the show yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was yesterday. Wow, what time flies. And like 3 hours ago, not even that long ago. And she mentioned that Lulu doesn't actually do well on earnings. So often, as I said, higher expectations on a name like this, so that when they miss on the guide, it does get hit because we have such high expectations. I think we buy this name down here, let it settle down over the next couple of days. But remember when we let Adobe settle down for 3 days and then basically its worst day was its first day? So, nice move to the downside there. You could have caught something there, but then you got a nice little bump up. So I guess we're coming back on Adobe as well. So this is what I mean. I think there's going to be a time where you need to be patient. And this is just another name here, Lululemon and Adobe. I really like, the opportunity to buy these dips, but I still think it's early. My cash is going to remain on the sidelines.
Yeah, so the beauty about Lululemon, two things. I would love to see Sean wear some Lululemons. And then two, the thing.
Oh, they have men's like dress pants.
Yeah, but that's not what
the
I'm talking
kinds you
about.
want to see me in,
Yeah.
you will not be seeing me in.
I mean, it is Casual Friday.
Fine, next Friday.
Okay, sick. All right, you heard it here first. Okay, so this
sponsor, give me like a big Trader TV Live right across my backside.
Okay, so the thing about Lululemon. Okay, let's talk a bit about trading, I guess.
You're the one that brought it to me wearing Lululemon pants.
Yeah, that was my segue.
I'm gonna need another coffee. Where the hell is Randy?
We're not even open yet. Okay, so the thing with Lululemon is I do have a little bit of experience in buying stocks that are, kind of had some bad earnings. And the one thing I could say to anyone thinking of trading this today is you don't want to be the first and you don't want to be the last. So what I mean by that is if you're going to be looking for a dip buy, you want to make sure that other people are buying before you to kind of give you that base and that kind of confirmation of any sort of upward momentum, right? So don't be the first here. It could be 413, it could be 400 the low today. So you don't really know. Be patient. Follow your plan, whatever it is, but make sure you're not first when you're kind of trying to catch the knife on these types of things, okay? So be careful out there.
All right, let's go on to Tesla, downside to the tune of about 3.5%, coming off a few days higher here. If you missed it this morning, reports anyway suggesting that they're going to reduce the China factory output going forward. So yesterday, pretty negative, and then we get some follow through today back towards 165 again here for Tesla.
Yeah, they're asking individuals working at the Shanghai facility to start working about 5 days instead of the 6.5 that they're regularly scheduled to work. That's as a result of weaker demand. Don't forget that a lot of the Model Ys and 3s that are made in Shanghai are actually exported to Europe. So this is not just reflective of Chinese demand. It could also be reflective of European demand. That's point number one. Point number two, Senator Elizabeth Warren again wrote to the SEC a 6-page letter, really long-winded, trying to get them to investigate Elon Musk and any spending irregularities, Brendo, within Tesla.
Michael Noss making a good point there. Tesla, a big part of the index. I mean, the S&P is about to go green. And Tesla looking like it's going to go back towards day lows here, guys. So relative weakness all over the place.
Okay, I missed that note about the index. What percentage was Tesla? Because I didn't think it was huge, but maybe it's 1 or 2%, so it's still good number there for Tesla. We wrote down on our sticky note here exactly what I just saw some people in the chat saying. Let's stay short. I wrote down 168 as a short here. We may have to break through 165. Look, I wrote down less production out of China is definitely not a good thing. So we can go find it at Trader TV Sean on the sticky note. I feel like once these names start to trend, this is what you get, This was an all-day short yesterday, despite the market. I mean, the market fell short yesterday actually as well. We started to rally. Obviously, it was an up day at the end of the day for the market, but it was not an up day for Tesla as we closed Friday at 175.60 and then closed yesterday down here at 173. So was a negative day overall. You get some pretty wild moves off the open for Tesla, as we've talked about this every day pretty much. 177 yesterday down to 174, then right back up to the highs again of 177, and then the tank started happening, and then you could start to play off VWAP in downside. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. We have the 200 period moving average here, and again, I'm not really using that right now. That will smooth out once we get some more ticks here. But up here near 168, I was just thinking that if we get a couple dollar pop, that would be something that we'd look to fade. It was the high here in the pre-market. So just looking to get short on Tesla. If we wind up, getting going, then I think, 170, we probably want to get out on any sort of key level breaks in and around 170. Thank you so much, Randy. Another savior coming through right there.
No, I'm okay.
Franco's is good, though.
I'm already jittery.
Despite his looks, he does not need another coffee. Okay. I just wish I had your coif up there. That's.
I know. I wish I got a haircut
You have
before
great
this,
hair, by
that's
the
for
way.
sure.
That's for sure. Okay, so anyways, a fade up here at 168. I'm going to take that short. We're going to hold it against 170. So it won't be a huge position early because we don't need to get run over, just like catching a falling knife. If this big middle finger comes straight to the upside, we want to get the heck out of that way. So we'll wait for 170 to break on Tesla. And then I am so thinking short that we'll probably break this 165 to the downside, and I'm going to join that momentum. And if we can break 165, we'll hit the 165 short brankles, and then we'll use like this 166 area here as our out in case we're wrong. So I'd rather give less risk on breakouts because sometimes when you break the bottom, that's exactly what it was, the bottom. And then you take it on the way back up, and that's not a nice feeling.
Yeah, so my thoughts in terms of Tesla, I think, it just shows kind of that we're in a pretty healthy market. Like the overall index is strong. However, one of the biggest companies in the world is not doing well. So that's something I like to see when the market's doing well is like, can it hold up when the big bad wolves aren't doing so well? So Tesla is interesting. I have the daily up here. Obviously, 150 looks like a huge level. We're kind of far from there yet, but that's something I'll be looking at as like a key level moving forward in this name.
Positive note here this morning for Alphabet from Wedbush, putting it on their best ideas list going forward. So a nice 1% move pre-market here for Google. Just remember there was that note on. I mean, we were talking about it, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? There was that AI note between Apple and Alphabet. Apple comes out this morning talking to Baidu, apparently now over in China, about using Ernie, but just took out day highs there again for Google.
Yeah, look, it was Scott Devitt this time around for Wedbush, not Dan Ives, making the comments. And he says he believes the structural risks to Google search are well overstated. He says that their data is unmatched and able to develop and train AI models using image, text, video. They have YouTube, they have Google, and they have Android. All these different platforms are going to help train the large language models. So he likes them. And raise the price target, Brendo, to 175 from 160.
Yeah, we were talking about 150 going back to the beginning of February, and then to start the year, we are actually above that. But 150 going to be key here today for Alphabet.
And J stop.
To not do, that doesn't fire off in the pre-market? Oh, okay.
If you didn't script, it would.
We're just talking about, I was literally just talking about Tesla there.
We're just having a bromance right now, guys.
Yeah, because I was telling him, as per usual, stay tuned for more of that as we go. Yeah, that's right. So basically, I was just talking about putting out stop orders here into the pre-market, and I told him I put one in for 165, despite us having still 9 minutes to go. But then I'm using a key that won't fire off in the pre-market. So what I mean by that is I don't want to be involved if it gets down here on like one crazy spike on an imbalance or something like that, and the next thing I know, I'm stuck there short when it was just like a liquidity event, right? So that's what I was talking about. So there you go. All right, so Google, and it's funny that this made this list here because it is sticky note opportunity number 2. I only have one long. Well, actually, I have Reddit longs on here as well. We'll play AMD short. We'll play Apple most likely to the short side. We'll wait on that. But Google long. I mean, look at Google today. How could we not go long? It's up 1%. They got that. Again, Wedbush, these guys are very, very pro everything tech. So no surprise that this gets added to one of the best ideas lists. But look at Google. I always write this down, man. We wrote this down yesterday, and we were long Google a little bit yesterday, but didn't quite get to 144. This gap right here, that was that news about Apple and Gemini. Until we fill that gap, I still want to keep going long down here until we wind up breaking back down below 144. So I wrote down 144 long. The reason why I wrote that down is because when I wrote that thing, we were here at 146, 147. Now we're all the way up to 149. Like Google just really got going there. So those levels that I wrote down probably aren't going to come into play. I thought we could get a $2 move down. I mean, it's not like that's not unheard of. Yesterday we were at 150. We cranked down almost $4 down here into 146, 147. So I was hoping, Brankles, that today we could possibly break in here with a negative market and get down to that 145, 144 area. But now that doesn't seem like something that will happen. So for me, Google would be along somewhere around 147, 148. But again, I think we got to be patient, look at these bottoms from yesterday, see if they hold first. So I'm a bear today. We'll see what happens in the market. It's only down 0.19. I don't know. We had a negative week last week. We only had 2 negative weeks in the last 16. This could be another one, and it wouldn't surprise me on a week where we've had Fed.
Yeah, so in terms of Google, I feel like right now it's kind of in no man's land. Like it's just below that kind of what's that high I have here? 154, 155 level on the left here.
Yep.
So if I were to be taking Google seriously today as a day trade, I would be looking a lot actually at the VIX, the volatility index, to kind of tell me that if that's trending down, that's something maybe I would look for to kind of have a move up because it is such a strong stock near all-time highs in terms of Google. So if I'm looking at Google today, I'll be using the VIX as kind of like a measure of volatility. If that's trending down, then that'd be an interesting stock to buy to look for the continued move up.
16 gigs of RAM or something like that. It was way less money. Anyways, we're talking about the Apple M3 MacBook Pro that we got just a couple weeks ago. Lots of interesting reviews out there in the world. Speaking of Apple, if you missed it this morning, Baidu popped up here. It was actually more than 5% at the high, gets above 108 there briefly, but we're trying to hold 106 right now. Looks like it's not going to. Apparently Apple talking to Baidu regarding Ernie AI over in China.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like we said at the top of the show, if they're going to use Chinese search engines for their Chinese users that are using iPhones, it stands to reason that they use a generative AI app. So Baidu looks like they're going to get the benefit of this. Recall though, guys, when they launched Ernie last year around this time, it was kind of a botched launch. They showed a video instead of actually showing it live, and then there were multiple reports afterwards that it didn't function in the way that it was supposed to. So a lot of questions to be asked about this, not like we can test it. So I've got no opinion.
Yeah, remember we got that, extra detail yesterday regarding the DOJ investigation into Apple as well. If you go to a daily chart here, I just wanted to highlight one of the highest volume days downside yesterday for quite some time on Apple.
Yeah, I wonder why. So again, thanks DOJ. Like, this is the largest employer in the United States. This is the largest taxpayer in the United States. They create the products with the highest customer service and satisfaction of any product in the history of products. I mean, these are just facts. I'm not making this up. Yeah, let's go after them, and let's see how much money we can squeeze out of them and the U.S. taxpayers, because if they collect money, they might as well spend probably a couple $100 million, maybe even more than that, trying to investigate a random email that they have from 2019 that says, yeah, you know what? If we make a good enough watch, maybe people will stick with the iPhone. Right, how to make your product. It's like us saying, hey, if we give another stream here, maybe people will watch more of us.
I like that idea. More angles.
Anyways, oh, you do like that idea. Okay, so
Yeah.
you cannot work for the Department of Justice then, okay? Because
Definitely not.
you want what's best for everybody. I
Yeah.
get it, okay. All right. Anyways, needless to say, Apple yesterday had a pretty bad day. And it was not a good day for Apple. And hopefully Friday may be a better one, but it's not starting off that way. It started nicely, but as we come into this open, there's going to be, and there must be, an imbalance because we just got hit downside there on Apple. I don't see anything here on Apple. We have sound with the big sell imbalance. There it is. Oh, I just saw it. There it is. Yeah. So it's small, but it's 258,000. So, all right. The idea behind this trade, in my opinion, would be I want to buy 170s until it breaks. So to me, that's a key psychological level. I'm not trying to fight the market. I think that's the wrong thing to do. So if the market's going to be short on Apple, then we'll get short. We actually traded it yesterday to the short side. We were long early. Then we faded these plays and we were short Apple and actually wound up making a net P&L positive day on Apple yesterday because we flipped over from longs to shorts. So I think that, especially as a manager, Brankos, we never want to be, married or convinced one way on a stock. We want to trade what we can see.
Yeah.
So my bias will be right now going long at 170, but then if we break that, then I think it's a short off those levels, and you have to have that ability to flip up your opinion.
Yeah, I'm short Neil right now because it looks like he has an Android cable here, so I can't charge my phone.
Yeah.
And I have an Apple.
He was only BlackBerry for about 12 years.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Apple right now.
Yeah. He did say short Neil.
short Neil.
He did say short Neil.
Yeah, love that guy, but come on, like Android,
I know.
Can you see? Where's the? I don't know where the camera.
People know
there
what.
we go.
Yeah, people know what that looks like. Yeah, that's a USB. That's for because he has the Pixel 8 or 7, so that's a USB-C.
All right, let's go along Apple phones. I'm part of the problem. I'm sorry, guys. What else about Apple? Yeah, like I don't know. I don't have much to say.
All right, that's okay. Let's go back there, and the Apple Baidu connection is just another Chinese story that I would think is a negative, to be honest with you. All right, back over to the desk.
Being aware of fake outs today. We've been talking about pullbacks all week on how to trade at 11. Make sure to catch that with Dara and I today at 11.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Just telling Brankos to relax. He's already mentioned that he's going to be in sim mode because this is what we're doing. So we'll talk about some key levels. We'll hear some, we'll hear some stories. We'll trade some stock, and we'll have a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for watching today on a Friday. With only 40 seconds left, Adair will ring the bell, and then we'll get this party started. So initially, what are we looking at? We're looking at Tesla. So I like a Tesla break of 165. I really like a short at 168. We're waiting for that to come through. As I double check the sticky note, we're waiting for Google's on the short, on the long side. We didn't really get to AMD or NVIDIA or anything like that. Not yet. We have, well, close. 20 seconds. I like an AMD short right into these levels that we talked about, 170. Where is the... I don't have, there's the countdown. We're a little late on this countdown. It'll be 5 seconds off right there. It was on the wrong page. So, Dara, we only have 3, 2, 1. There it is. And it is Friday, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I am looking short on AMD, but AMD is starting to break right now. So this could be a rest in peace open for some of these names. Nice move to the downside right now for AMD as we watch out for Tesla, and that's starting to maybe... that's kind of opening relatively flat. I saw 167 level, and we're going to wait for 168. So here goes Tesla, trying to take out 167 now. Let's start this party a little bit early, take a 167 fill, and then just see what happens. We are going to wait for 168. 170's a problem spot for us. Not yet. Reddit quickly. All right, Reddit down a little bit here, down 3%, down to 49.
Yeah, you just gotta be patient with Reddit today. Like, if the secondary move isn't there, then you just gotta kind of sit on your hands and look for other opportunities. Unfortunately, right now it's not doing too much. In terms of Lulu, because that's another interesting one. Where's that heading right now? That's also kind of like not doing too much. So just wait, be patient, wait for that bottom, find some consolidation, and then maybe look for a long. That's not something I'm looking to short, especially since it's down so much on the day.
Yeah, the thing is here, we should have been a little more patient with our Tesla trade because we just shorted that 168, that level that we had mentioned before, and right now we got to wait for it because we could have started to take some profit, but our average price now is 70. So as you can see, we did take a 167 short, then we took a 168, giving us this average price. So you should be able to tell that we had many more shares up here near 168. Let me put a little bit more on now, as it seems like we're trying to hold that. So we'll go short 168 there on our first trade for Tesla. We are now short at 75. Maybe we'll take a fill at 50 just to, get a little bit out there. We are also bidding down in the 30s. Let's see if Tesla does make that move back into 165. Now I'm going to cancel that sell through here because we're already short. We don't need to get more short once it breaks. We have a decent sized position right now. Let's just check out on AMD quickly, Brankos. Oh, nice move up to, okay, so that just moved up nicely up here into 178, 179, looking at 180. We wrote down a 180, 181 short sell here for AMD. So let's see if that starts to get cooking a little bit right now. And there it is. We're here again. Brankos, I always say it doesn't matter who's sitting here, but I am glad it's sure you. We now do have a $1. That's your first dollar club, Brankos. Looks like you've been into the club here, but we have a nice dollar club winner. These are the clubs that Brankos likes, as you guys can all see. And there we go. It's a nice move to the downside now for our friend Tesla.
Yeah, good job, Sean.
Thank you, Brankos.
Yeah, glad to see it performing well for the people. In terms of Reddit, still doing nothing, boring, come on. Lululemon, something I'm looking at, doing nothing, boring, great job. And then what is ALAB up to these days?
Yeah, good call, yeah.
ALAB looked like it's breaking out a bit. That's something I'd say keep an eye on. Obviously, I think it went to 80 yesterday. Hey, let me pull it up on this side for you guys. ALAB, come on. Yeah, it looks like it went to 80 yesterday. So that's definitely we got a long ways to go till we get back to all-time highs for ALAB. But if it could show some momentum early, maybe it could get back up there today. So hopefully market treats us well today so we can find some good longs. If not, what are the weak stocks? And like Sean was mentioning earlier, Tesla is something that's looking weak. So if the market doesn't look strong early, that's something where we could go short and find some good fills.
All right. Yeah, so that's the only position I'm in actually right now is Tesla. We just reloaded that short again as well. So far so good there on Tesla. So let's go. All right, so now it's starting to break a little higher. Remember we talked about this, was that we wanted to wait for 170. So let's be patient. Here it goes. Tries to take out 168 again and then falls down another 50 cents. So let's just keep on ringing that damn register, Brancos, because as I said, you know, this is what's flowing around here, hopefully, would be some winning trades. So there we go. We'll watch out for a nice little downside move as we've just reloaded it again. So that's multiple times right there that we've just had 60, 70 cent winners now on Tesla. Damn, Brancos. Look at this move to the downside right now. Let's go. Nice little move. Let's break through 167. And that, Brancos. Now we're starting to get going. Here we go. Nice little move to the downside now for Tesla. We're just kind of getting some out and trying to hold a very, very core position here in Tesla. What's going on with Coinbase? Coinbase has been quite a nice trade lately. Look at that move. Wow, yeah, we're straight up $5 and down, hitting that 200 period moving average. As unfortunately, I wanted to talk about crypto today to the upside, but right now it's heading southbound as crypto down to 63.8. Not good. I don't know, did Tesla just accept Bitcoin or something? Because we just went up another $1 right there for some reason on Tesla. We'll average back in here. I was just joking about that Bitcoin thing. Please don't say that Sean said Tesla's accepting Bitcoin. But there it is. We'll take another average here, but this is be it. We've already hit it too many times. Upside at 166 or 168. Now it needs to fall, right? So we'll see about this one, because if you just keep on averaging in, although we are, here it comes back in again. If we keep on taking profit, that's one thing, which we're doing. But at some point, you're taking 30, 40, 50 cents to lose $2, not going to be a winning recipe. But right now, we'll go one for one and keep looking for trades. But look at the market, Brancos. I mean, it's up, down, and around. Maybe Adara has some news for us.
I do have this one penny stock to keep an eye on here, BioLace, BIOL. This one had a bit of a mixed performance on earnings yesterday. They are up about 69%, $3.5 million market cap. So earnings-related news bringing BIOL to the upside, guys.
Yeah, so it looks like Reddit is broke your grandpa's stop today, and if it can hold that 50 level, it can make another move up. So definitely something to keep an eye on. In terms of volume, it has done 1 million, so ideally you want to see more volume come into this name if you want to see an extended move on the second day. But yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. 50 is your grandpa's stop, so if it can hold your grandpa's stop, this thing has a chance.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, here's another one that has a chance right now. Do we play this break is the question right now on Google. Google's up to 150 again. This has been a really nice break level. But right there, we broke it. I think we had this trade. We broke that up to 150.35 and then stopped, and then we really got hammered down there. I think, was this in the pre-market? Well, it was right off the open. So looks like we're trying to do that again today, breaking through 150 here on Google. We know we like the long, as it turns out to be another one of those best ideas. Watch out for this. I don't think we want to take this, but it could be something. We're now back into the dollar club on multiple reloads, Brancos, down there on Tesla. So there we go. We'll take it again. There's another out. I mean, this is just what we're doing. This is a blemish, but it's not really, because it was such a small position. Once we actually got our 168s, our average price was 167. Brancos. Let's go. Right there. Look at that fill we just got. Brancos, hands up in the air like this man don't care. There it is. Look at that. 166.70. That's another $1.30. So, hey, man, it's a one trade wonder over here today as we get Tesla on board. And I think that that's fine.
Shorting weak stocks makes sense.
It's not, yeah, oh, well, yeah, that's the whole point of the sticky note and stuff like that, is to just to find direction and play that direction. We talk about that all the time. Wait for your opportunity to get in on something. And we just missed an opportunity to buy Google, because there it goes, wow, okay, we got another out on Teslas. That's continuing southbound. And Google's continuing northbound. So we nailed that one on the sticky note as a long, wherever that note is. But the idea here was it didn't dip into our levels. So we're not long right now on Google, and you'll miss some of those trades, right? I mean, mean,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that we have to tell traders is, and I put that note out, like no FOMO. Like from now on, we take the trades that we see. We can't get them all, and we're happy to get the ones that we do. We just got to work on trading them better.
Yes, like a lot of what I tell the traders in the back is like you could only focus on so much. You can only have so much mental capacity to watch a certain amount of tape. Like you can't be looking at 4 stocks at once unless you're Sean and Neil. But for me, it's usually 1 or 2 names off the open and maybe a tertiary idea throughout the day if it sets up correctly. So
Slow down on those words. Tertiary.
Tertiary?
Yeah. That's like secondary. What now, Ramin?
Or this. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, you're wearing a... Okay.
Sean doesn't know how to use a mic. Come on. Has been doing this for how many years?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why we have help, right?
The thing that everybody needs to know is there's nothing wrong with my mic. See? There. See?
I trust Ramin. I don't know.
Caught red-handed, Ramin. Caught red-handed.
She knows what
You know
she's
my
doing.
wife is watching this. All right, so here we go. All right, let's get going here. So we did not reload. We're still waiting for another position here to come on something, so we'll have to wait to see if something pops in for us or not. But right now, it's kind of been a little slow. Right now, let's check out some of the names that we talked about earlier.
I'm looking at that.
Yeah, let's look. You're looking at Lulu right now? Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Sean's not buying enough Lulu pants, so this stock is going to the downside right now. And like I said earlier, if you're looking for a long here, you gotta wait for someone else to buy first. So you just gotta be patient. One of these candles will close and a bid will come. But as of right now, we're down almost 15%, and 400 looks like it's incoming. And then just wait for a candle to close green, and then you know that someone is behind you. Someone is on the same side as you. So don't get too early into Lulu. Wait, be patient. Reddit just did not like that 50 level. Your grandpa's stop was it today. If it didn't hold 50 and is going straight back down to 48. So I'm pretty sure the low yesterday was 45. So that could be another key level to look at.
All right, so we have stopped averaging into Tesla, and we're gonna wait. We'll just, okay, there it is. So I was gonna say we'll wait for that 168.50 level to come through, and then we're gonna wait for 170. It's straight fire right now.
Yeah.
The one trade that we've missed for sure. Now that I see okay, not really. I thought there was this market going up. Google would have been rifled right back up there to the upside, but that does not seem to be right. So Google hanging out right now. It looks like Tesla starting to get some love all the way to the upside. We're short at 168.19, but this is not a huge position. We talked about my stop is breaking through 170. So that's what we want to see happen. So remember we kept on talking about taking it out. It did come back up. We had 20% left. We are adding another piece here at 168.50. So you can see our average price now 168.20. So that should show you, the kind of size that we were using, and just the average in, to me, is more what it's all about right now. So let's wait to see if that can happen. A breakthrough on 170, and we're wrong on Tesla. I mean, I thought it was a pretty negative catalyst, them slowing production in China, and let's just see if we're right about that. I mean, that's what we talked about, Brankos. The market will go up and go down. Reddit just had a $4 or $5 move there for apparently no reason. Lululemon's making these moves as well to the downside. We could check out Nike. There's, look at that. Now we're all of a sudden right back into the money on this Tesla trade. We say this all the time, and Brankos, you got to tell this to your traders as well. I'm sure you do. You got to be confident in some of your positions. And if you just sit there and wonder oh, I'm going to take a 5-cent stop and I'm going to take a 20-cent stop and I don't believe in this position, that's how you actually wind up getting destroyed, because the next thing you know, you're 2 wins and 16 losses because you have so many small hits that they just add up. I'd rather be confident in one play. And guess what? That reload level, Brankos, it's exactly what we want to see.
Another one.
Because now you're back in the club, Brankos.
Oh my God.
And here we go. There's another dollar winner for you.
This is crazy.
What's up to my guy Josh over there? He's ready to rock and roll. What's up to Wayne, who's on vacation? Everybody today, we're kicking it live on Trader TV with my guy Brankos.
I'm just happy Josh is awake today.
Oh, shots fired. No, I looked over there and I was like, because he sits where Stephanie used to sit over there. So it's like,
he has nice hair too.
The best. I've actually commented about that on the show. These guys, bunch of studs around here you're hiring, my guy.
I mean, they don't trade well, but they're getting there.
Ouch, ouch. I like all these shots fired, man. This is exactly This is
No, I'm kidding. I'm just joshing around.
Good one.
Okay, so someone in the chat mentioned CGC up 13%. So that's something that I don't think we talked about this morning. That's definitely a ticker that seems strong. So it looks like a recent high is $6. So we're kind of working our way towards there. Right now it's traded $2 million on the day. Actually, one of my favorite tickers in the market is WeedTO, and it is the TSX variant of Canopy Growth, right? Just a great ticker name. I don't know. That's all I have on it.
All right, there was, the ticker weed was in there. And by the way, Brankos, if you like $1, you probably like 2 even more. So
Are we doing it again?
We'll go $1, $2.
Oh.
There he goes.
I'm going to get an arm pump him if we keep doing this.
That's good. That's what we're trying to do. Go get those weights. Put those in there every time we celebrate these wins for Tesla. But we got to get out first. So the bid down here is 166.50 we just went to. That short right there is 168.50. And we could have got a little bit better than that, man. It almost went to 169. Where we were waiting at 169. My 169 offer has been in there since the beginning of the day. And there it is right there, man. There's an airplane coming down, and it's dropping Tesla money all over the place. We haven't made enough to buy that Rivian yet, but this Tesla is making a move down to the downside right there. And we'll just go 1 for 1 quietly here. And it's a big day, and it's all going to get even bigger with this news from Adara.
Definitely keep an eye on Digital World Acquisitions Corp, DWAC, DWAC. This one, the shareholders set to vote on whether or not they approve the merger with Donald Trump's Trump Media and Technology Group. That vote is coming up 10 a.m. Eastern time, so 15 minutes. Lots of activity in this stock, both happening here on the stock and also online. So lots of investors excited for this. Definitely should be a reaction here at 10 a.m. Keep an eye on DWAC, guys.
All right, so some always interesting DWAC news there. I don't know, does the floor ever trade that? I used to see a lot of DWAC trades, but not recently, I feel like.
I guess we wait till November for that kind of trade.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to say. Well, no, it's not just that. I feel like the volume there is good, but the spreads too, it's just not as exciting, I feel like, as it used to be there with the volumes and some of the moves, because here's the spread right now with DWAC. See what I mean? It's already 25 cents right now. That's just not enough volume going through on DWAC for me right now, but there is a lot of volume going through on Tesla, and that just keeps on going to the downside. So we're really happy with some of the performance there in Tesla, starting to continue to go to the downside right now as well. Let's find some other trades that we've potentially talked about. We did talk about AMD, of course, so let's go over and have a quick look at AMD, as that's, okay, well, again, we missed that short, right? So we did have an AMD talk there up at 180, and we're waiting at 180 right now, but that fill does not come through for us on AMD.
Reddit.
So AMD breaking lower. Oh, Reddit. Oh, wait a minute. I thought we had a Reddit. Oh, we want Reddit down here too. Good call there. I like Reddit down here at 45. We're actually bidding 45.50 right now on Reddit to see if we break. So here we go.
Incoming.
Here it comes right now. Reddit looking like it wants to go to the downside. We are now long Reddit right now at 45.50. Let's see if we can make about 50 cents on this trade. We'll get some out. There's some out at 70. Here we go. We're long at 45.50 flat right now, Brankles, on Reddit. Let's see if we can get a nice little trade coming through here. It's Reddit time, baby. There it goes. We'll take another route here at 80s. It's 30 cents on Reddit. We are waiting here at 90. Let's see if we get a fill there, and then we'll see about Reddit trying to bounce higher. So good trade there on Reddit, that's for sure. And there it is. Yes, sir, Brankles. Let's effing go, man. Here we go, Brankles. You like hot dogs. Here it is one more time. There's another 50-cent winner. So we're going to go 2 for 2, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Let's go.
You're a breath of fresh air, Brankles.
I haven't taken one trade.
Well, Brankles, I'll just continue.
I'm just enjoying it. All right, I could talk about ALAB though. So what's the opposite of Reddit right now? Is ALAB. ALAB up 7% right now. We're having fun today. So yeah, like the difference is this isn't doing much volume. We're only at 600,000 on the day. So we're hoping that maybe this 70 breaks and some volume hits in.
So we have 2 trades today. One is $2 in the money. The other one, we just took $1 right there on Reddit, and now we're almost out of this one. Man, are we having quite the day here.
You know what Wayne has brought up recently?
What's that?
You got to trade the vibes, and today we have good vibes.
I mean, yeah, you and I for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I mean,
I already told you potentially deal incoming. You know, I mean, Neil's on vacation. We can't just get rid of him like that. We'll have to tell him that we potentially have a host change, and then we'll figure it out after that. You know, we don't want to hurt the man's feelings, especially when he's on vacation.
I already told the people I'm short, Neil, so yeah, we can't hurt
Right.
Neil
Oh, good.
too bad.
Don't tell everybody everything right away, man. Let them figure it out. No, we hope that Neil's having a great time somewhere in Florida right now as we do stuff like this. All right, so right now $1 in the money on Reddit,
there goes
$1.50 in the money on Tesla, as those are, by the way, guys, number one idea on here, Brankles says short Tesla 168. Thank you so much for that one, Tesla. And then we actually have the 46 long on here on Reddit as well. So we waited for 45.50.
Yeah.
We looked at those levels. We talked about those in the pre-market. We only have now 20% left. Let's go back over to the desk.
Tons of strength here in AMTX. Midas, this is actually a day 2 play. They are a renewable energy related name announcing a investment from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, $200 million approval there. So nice look here. Day 2 for AMTX, worth noting as well. Just under 12% short float and lots of social media attention on this name, guys.
Yeah, but you were just mentioning AAPL there. So is that's something that I guess you guys look at quite often is like names that could continue off next day plays.
Yeah, like I said, secondary and tertiary 3. We're learning today.
We are.
So yeah, so AAPL once again is up 8%. Like the thing about AAPL IPOing right now is like this sector has been the hottest sector of the year, right? It's semiconductors. I'm pretty sure its customers are companies like NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and you know, if those are 3 of your customers, you're probably in a very good line of business right now. So AAPL doing well, looks like it's having some support. If you could look at my daily chart here, yeah, like yesterday it went to 80, it closed red unfortunately, but you can see we're having another push up and it didn't break that prior day's low. So obviously continued momentum. Can it hit 80 today? That would be pretty wild to kind of get there again, but this is an IPO, not that many shares, a lot of price discovery, so it can happen. So definitely keep an eye on that today, up 10%.
Okay, yeah, we'll have definitely a quick look at that as well. It's coming up to 9:50 right now. I don't think we have any numbers today, so you know, it'll be kind of a chilled out day here. I'm still trying to think about what to do here. Reddit has come back in. I do not think, guys, this is going to be like a reload position for me or anything, but we do have Reddit on our mind here and looking to maybe make some more trades on that name. So let's watch out here with Reddit coming through very, very soon. Tesla is making these moves still, but we do want to look at other names. So Google did break through 150, and look what's happening right now, Brankos. It's all the way up to 151.
Yeah.
And we had looked at that level. We probably
155 is the high.
We should have traded that for sure there. So that's a mistake by me because we talked about that breaking, and we're like, okay, now it's breaking. Let's see what we can do. And unfortunately, we should have took that, but we were short, and we talked about having a bias one way. We really like the play there on Tesla, so we'll wait. Let's go check out what's happening with Apple, because this was another name, obviously in the news. You know, we've talked about this. We wanted to go long at 170, and guess what, Brankos? We didn't have our bid down there. Remember what I said? Depending on, no matter what we thought, we wanted to get that down there at 170. So again, we talk about, you know, you mentioned not
can't get paid if you don't throw orders.
That's another good point, but it's also about not being able to trade everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you look at certain things, you know, you trade those from what they are. What just happened?
Lulu, 400 just broke down. Yeah, so unfortunately, every time I look at this stock right now, I'm just picturing Sean in really tight pants. But
dude, you have to, honestly, you have to get over that. I know a lot of people maybe think that, but you can't.
We got a lot of time today. I'll bring it up again, don't worry. Right. So yeah, unfortunately, no bid yet on Lulu. So if you are looking to go long, just be patient. But yeah, what were you saying?
What was I saying? I don't know, man. You got everyone thinking about, like, so first of all, Lululemon has like casual pants. I'll show them to you one day, and we can, and then we don't have to worry about, like, you know, these pants here, Brankles. So all right,
AAPL, go to AAPL.
No. Don't worry. Branko, this is, you know, I'll be fine here, Brankos. This is fine for me. All right.
Oh my God.
XOM. No, I just wanted to do something. Yeah, see, people are loving Branko. So let's hit the like and the subscribe, man. this is what we do here. We have a lot of fun. And
It's Friday.
And I just hope, it's not just that it's Friday, Brankos. This could be any day that ends in Y for me. You know, you got to have fun. You got to
That's
enjoy
true.
what you do, and that's what we do here. So, and we're not going to stop doing that. I mean, people asked about, you know, there's some questions on the podcast, how long have we been doing this, and so on and so forth. I wish I had the answer. I think it's about 3 to 4 years, but we're providing new information every single day for everybody, whether or not it be the more Trader TV Live, whether or not be that the handheld. You can now watch in portrait mode on your phone. You know, we're now streaming on Twitch. Did you know that?
I did not know that. You guys are everywhere.
This is what I'm saying, right? So, all right, let's go. CGC just ripping right now.
Yeah.
MSOS and some of these, you know, weed names just continue to impress. MSOS not doing it though, but I guess it's just CGC. Did we have specific news on this? Because you brought that up earlier about Canopy, and there it goes, man. Branko's up now 19%.
Yeah, your chat's
as we
on
continue to go. So yeah, they're all over that. So that's a good trade there. Check it. Oh, go ahead, Adara.
Yeah, I actually have the news there on CGC. So what I'm seeing is, in addition to the overall furor this whole week over potential legalization or rescheduling, of cannabis in the U.S., there actually is some news. Germany partially legalizing cannabis as of April. So partial legalization of cannabis in Germany as of April could be what's moving some of these stocks to the upside.
What does that even mean, partially? Like 1 gram? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's just like, I think that's what we did here, right? We did like, you could only buy, what was it, an ounce or something at a store. You could only grow like a certain amount of plants.
That's a question for Pat.
Is that a question for Pat? You may know more than I do.
Yeah.
So there we go. So what did he just do there?
That was perfect.
That was
All right.
perfect. This is what we do here, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's go here. All right. So we'll start to watch out for that. Reddit now is really starting to go, so this is going to be hopefully a nice trade for us as we continue to watch out for Reddit here, making the moves to the downside, hopefully now, or upside, sorry, for Reddit. We are long right here at that 45.50 level. We talked about this yesterday and why we like this level, so let's just see if it can make some sense down there. That was the bottom from yesterday, so that's RDDT bottoming out there yesterday at 45. We took that trade. We talked about it. It's on the sticky note. I do like that trade. Tesla, we have that 10% left. I mean, we didn't get anything out until we were that close to that dollar in the money. And then once we were $2, we were just like, we good. But we're coming back up here, so let's think about a reload in and around 68. Let's take some shares right now, just a smaller position into this level, because we've seen it climb before. And with the market starting to go to the upside, this is not normally a position of strength for the short. So we'll wait here to see if the short will pay out at some point here. But for now, you know, the market's strong. I think we want to look at stronger names. I was waiting for a pullback in Google, but that didn't seem to come through yet. Any pushback into 149.50, I think that's obviously a good level there that we'll have to look at. Alibaba, we didn't like some of the stories out of China again today, where we had weaker sales from Tesla and warnings from Nike on the retail side of things. So yeah, Alibaba today down that 2%, and it looks like we may get a chance to see if 72 wants to hold. This has been a good level for us in the past. Doesn't seem like much is happening right now, so we'll wait to see here what happens in and around 72 now for Alibaba. So that's an idea that we're working with. Reddit still nice upside. I'm going to hold this Brankos to see if we can get back up to 50. I mean, we're already out of 80% of it. Again, a very difficult trade sometimes on day 2, but we'll play the momentum.
Yeah, the fact that it held 45, which was around yesterday's low, is a really good sign moving forward on Reddit. Something to mention is, didn't you talk about Foot Locker earlier today?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so Foot Locker's up 5%. However, it kind of made like a top at 25.30 and didn't hold 25, and now it's kind of looking like it's going down. So definitely something to keep note of. A-Lab's still looking strong, which is really interesting. I think this thing has a really big chance to go. If not, it went yesterday. If not today, then the other day. That daily chart looks amazing on it so far. So let's see if it could close above 80 today. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to look at too, as you mentioned Foot Locker here. We did talk about Lulu. You brought that to our attention as well, that was going one way.
Yeah.
And then Nike actually, it's too bad. It did have a little bit of a pop there. We had talked about trying to see what this name wants to do here. But Nike still looks like it wants to take out that bottom. And again, on earnings, you always get sort of that, early kind of flush or rip, depending on which way that market wants to take it. And right now, we could be possibly bottoming out here on Nike, but again, not a good gap trade today. It's making its way down. I would rather wait until we can get into 90 or so to try to support this level. But for now, it looks like 92 wants to hold. So there could be something there as we look at NKE on that level. So that's something that we'll have a quick look at. Nike buying those 92s. Reddit still going. Tesla back in the money a little bit. We did short. Okay. I mean, here we go. So Brancos, we'll do it again right there. There's another 40 cents there on Tesla as we get some out in the 60s there, 70s, sorry. So we'll take a piece out there on that name and then see if we can get a little bit higher to short a little bit more. But again, into 169 would be a good trade. We'll keep shorting those 168s on that one. Any other names that anybody's been talking about? NVIDIA, I just looked at that, man. It was up at what, 920?
Yeah.
So again, a decent level here for NVIDIA. You know, somewhere near some of these highs. For me, NVIDIA's kind of range bound. We talked about that with Michael Noss. If I was going to look short in anything, which I said I was a bear today, we are starting to push back in. This would be the name that I'd be short. Look at AMD's chart. This is not anything that, you know, if you were bullish, you'd be happy about. You're bouncing off the 50 period and actually going the other way right now. So I feel like this is a trade that we could have here with AMD fading these pops. So again, waiting for something to come up into 177 for AMD. That's where VWAP is right now, and I think that that would be a trade that I would like to take. So I'm going to put an offer right now at 177 on AMD. My offer right now is literally at 180, so let's put one up here near 177. Let's go 176.80. We'll see if we get a little bit of a pop here in AMD up to 176, 50, 80s, short into 177 and see from there. But that's a trade that I'm working with right now.
Yeah, so another kind of malaise semiconductors, Intel. I feel like this is one of the most boring stocks in the universe. Also not doing well. So on the daily here, if you could pull up the chart, looks like 42 is this kind of chop level of support. So if it kind of could break down further today, that's definitely something you could short. But if it holds, you go long. Support, resistance.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Tesla's coming back to the upside. Oh, let's look at Disney. So Disney's another name here that we've talked about. There goes Nike breaking through 92. We probably should have considered that short as it's not breaking 92 yet. It's close. Oh, there it is. So we just got that scanner there that it was breaking the day's low. I thought that was 92, but it's right there right now. Do we just want to short this 92 break and play off 92.50? I mean, we could do that with the momentum now into Nike. So that's not a horrible play. Short that 92 into this top of 92.30. Let's do that and go to Adara, and then when we come back, we'll see what's happening with Nike.
Here's the 15-minute chart here on the SPY. We're more or less flat on the day. Lots, though, happening in this market. We did have Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking at 9. Fed's Jefferson just started to speak now at 10 a.m., so lots more Fed speak as well. Barr around 12, and then we'll get Fed Bostic at 4. So keep your eye on all of this Fed speak and how that might impact the market, especially with Fed's Jefferson about to step up to the mic. We also have cannabis stocks absolutely on watch with regards to that news of partial legalization in Germany. So lots of different sectors to keep an eye on, but earnings names definitely also on watch here. Lululemon down over 17%. On weaker than expected Q1 revenue forecast, LULU to the downside. We also have Nike, as mentioned there, down about 8.5%. They had a 3% drop year over year for their digital brand revenue. So interesting look there for NKE. And last but not least, another earnings name here, FedEx, FDX. Pretty strong look. They're falling a little bit here, but still up about 8% on the day. They did also announce a $5 billion share buyback program. So nice look for FDX, an interesting look for the market so far, guys.
Yeah, I just took a fill on CGC. I think I'm a little late to the party. Just it was a double top around 550. Took the 550 break and looks like I'm going to get stopped out. Is what it is.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Trading.
It is what it is. Yeah, that's trading, right? Sometimes you do throw your hands up in the air and you wave them.
Like you just don't care.
Attaboy. Like all that. So there's a good one there, Brancos. All right, so, all right, your favorite sport is? To watch.
Right now?
To watch.
MMA.
MMA.
UFC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite fighter or?
Oh, Sugar Sean.
Oh, O'Malley.
O'Malley, yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight.
He is
that
amazing.
Cheeto, right?
Yeah.
And he punched the living crap out of
No,
that
he
guy.
need the living.
I heard that.
knee,
I saw
that
the
crack.
replay there. You
Yeah.
could hear that like around the world, man. How did that guy not fall down? That Cheeto guy has never been knocked down.
Sometimes it's better to be have a good chin than it is to have good fists.
Yeah, possibly. But
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Good one there, Brankos. And then you are also a player of sport or not? Are you involved with anything right now? Baseball, hockey, what?
Golf, like I've been getting into golf a lot. Yeah. So I'm excited. We usually go Wednesdays here when the weather warms up. So golf is definitely like a newer sport I got into actually since joining the floor. But it's definitely something
Shout
where
out
it's
to
like
Greg, right?
Yeah, shout out there. He's dead.
The guy that's dead to you, yeah.
Not to me.
Who's Greg?
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely something where like there's a lot of like similar things to trading and golf. Like it's a lot of a mental side to that game. So I think as I started to really get into trading and enjoy trading, it kind of opened up golf because it was a similar type of mentality.
Okay, let's go over to Adair quickly as Nike's looking to break 92.
Street Interactive looking to run for a second day in a row here. This one up about 4.5%. Late in the day yesterday, it came out that RSI, as reported by Bloomberg, is approaching DraftKings looking for strategic options, including a potential sale to DKNG. So both of those names on watch right now. RSI and DKNG on watch still with this news from yesterday, guys.
Thank you, Dara. We are now short Nike, and this trade could potentially not work because as soon as we punch short Nike, the market just goes. So now we just break through 92 right now. Reddit's trying to work out for us. Tesla's just hanging around 169. We're short at 168.50, and we don't have. We have shares because we've been averaging into this price because we like this price. But we're gonna wait for 170 to get more because honestly, if it wants to go for a run, it can go. It's only 10 o'clock. The market's just open a half hour. We still have a lot of movements here to come. And honestly, we weren't talking about a free fall Friday or anything like that, but this movement here in the pre-market definitely led me to believe that potentially we were going to head to the downside here. So I don't want to completely change up my ideas here, but we're coming into a level of 18,560 here. That was sort of that drop there that happened in and around 6:30 a.m. Although this would be, that would be 5:30 because, again, this is Chicago time. So we'll see if we can hold this level. We've talked about 18.6 being pretty important as well as 18.3. So we may have to wait. That could give us that Tesla short up there near 170 in the next little while. So let's wait to see if that can come through right now. $1.50 in the money on Reddit. And then DWAC, we have the decision coming through now. So DWAC, look at that. Nice move up. Brankles, you and I talked about DWAC and how we may not want to trade that. But there goes DWAC right now. Straight upside. Fire! Right there on DWAC as it continues to go to the upside now. All right. Did you want to go to Adair or no? No. Okay. So she's going to get that news for us as right here live on Fox. What a surprise. DWAC News live on Fox Business. Fox Business Digital World Acquisition Corp to vote on social media merger, okay? I thought we knew about that. We'll wait to see if there is any other news, but maybe it's just that. The vote's going to come there, and we'll figure out what's going to happen with DWAC. So more news to come. I'm going to leave that for Adara and report it properly because it is moving a lot, and we want to make sure that we get that story right. So there goes DWAC all the way through 58 and still going. Nike, the newest position for me and on the board right now. So Nike now only 10 cents in the money, but starting to go a little lower here. I always like, okay. I was going to say, I did not have a bid here at 75, but let's put one at 75. I always like to trade in and around the quarters because of options and things like that. So, there's always quarter options, half options, dollar options, things like that. So let's wait to see right here of what's going on. Hopefully Nike will fall in and we'll get a 75 fill. My next fill on this was at 50s. So hopefully, there goes Nike right there. Uh-oh, Brankles. It's another one right there. So we'll go over to Adair and see if we get some clarification about DWAC.
We still have eyes on DWAC. We don't have a vote yet, but it started at 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we are about 7 minutes into that vote. We had this big move up, about 10%. Now we're falling back down into 45s. I have my eye on it on all platforms. If I see anything, I will let you guys know promptly.
Yeah, so I just got into Lulu. So like I said, you got to be patient, wait for that bottom to form.
Attaboy.
Right now it looks pretty good. I've been doing this for a long time.
You sure have.
I'm confident in this position right now. I have my stops in place. I have my plan. I have my out. So everything just is out of my control right now. I'm confident that this is a good position. We're looking for 405 to get back to VWAP. If not, I have my stop. Everything's all good.
I actually told that to Obi yesterday, and the thing is like, I actually hate hearing that. You know, like Obi goes, well, you know.
But he doesn't have a stop in.
No. It's like, I'll only take, what, is that a story about Obi? He doesn't have stops then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I call him a bag boy. I'm doxing Obi right now. Sorry, buddy. Hope you're enjoying vacation.
No, it's all that stuff. It's like, you know, like I haven't been trading that long, or we'll leave it for the big guys and stuff like that. The whole point is that if we're traders and we're putting on trades, many of us here have been here for more than 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years. We should be confident in the trades that we're putting on, or we shouldn't be putting on the trades. And
I agree completely.
That's what I told Obi. So it's like, to sit there and be like, we're not going to trade because I'm not confident in the position, then don't trade.
Yeah.
It's like, every day we can't come here and be like, you know what? I don't know if I like this trade because I don't have enough experience.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine to say all that kind of stuff, but we have enough experience. It's like, when is the time when you're going to go for it then?
Look, the thing that, Obi and I have lots of conversations, but I have this conversation with many of my traders is, you're here every day, you're watching the market, you're taking trades. What are you actually working towards?
Right.
Like, everyone's so concerned about their current trade or their next trade. No one's thinking about what's their next 100 trade gonna look like, right? 100 trades from now. So for me, that's something where it took me a while. It took me like 6 months to a year to figure out like, hey, like if this is gonna be my business, which I believe it is trading, then I need to have a business plan in place, right?
Right,
So the
exactly.
business
I like
plan that
this.
you put in place is practicing the same type of patterns and the same type of trades and setups, right? So people kind of get distracted when they come onto the floor and they're looking kind of to not have their ego make their trades or have their bias make their trades. For me, and what I have found success in is having very defined setups and practicing them again and again and again.
That's it.
And then as I'm practicing them, I get this kind of experience of what does it look when it's good, what does it look like when it's bad, and then you'll kind of get to this point where, oh, this is the one. Right? I've done this 100 times. This is the 100th trade I'm taking on this setup. And then that's the one where when it's the 100th one, it looks good, it lines up, you hit it, and Bob's your uncle.
Now that's real talk.
For real traders.
I mean, that's good. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we want, Brankos. Thank you so much for all of that, because that is real talk right there. So, all right, real talk. Nike just went up through $92. So just like we just mentioned right there, I'm going to be confident in this position. We took a little bit more shares there, and we just got some out there at 92 again. So we'll take a little bit of profit, not much there on the reload, but we could be wrong on this trade, and we've seen this happen before, especially on earnings. You had a great trade there on Lululemon, obviously, as that started to go back up to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nike decides to do something like that as well, and maybe hit that bottom of 92 bucks. I mean, this is down 9% on a top and bottom line beat for Nike, okay? So let's be careful with the short here. We just took another piece out. We'll get stopped out if it takes 50. We've talked about that. I'm not gonna wait all the way up here to VWAP. No, thank you. What we're supposed to do is, when there's a gap, wait for VWAP. But unfortunately, 92 broke, and I actually like the momentum heading into 92. A more patient trader would probably be waiting for 93 right there. So let's get out at 92.50 if we're wrong and deal with it then. A trade that we may be wrong on right now is going to be Tesla, because here we go. We're starting to get back up to the upside, so we are now waiting for some trades here at 170. So we just took a fill right here at 169.20 again, because it was bouncing. Like, look how long this was bouncing around here for. Like, so I was just like, you know what? Let's just take a fill, and then it goes this way. So we're hoping it went that way. Now it's going this way. I don't know if there's news on Tesla or something, but the market's heading one way here, and Tesla's getting pretty excited to the top side. So we're gonna take that short at 170 and just wait to hear if there's something about this. But Tesla right now, I never thought, cutting production. There goes Nike, by the way. So maybe something's happening with China or something, because these retail names are starting to go. I feel like there might be something on China somewhere. What is happening with Apple right now? No, what's happening with Starbucks? The reason why I go over these names because these are big names in China. So no, so I don't know. Nike just went up to the upside there. Your Lulu was probably good to go. Nike takes us out, that's fine. Look where it touched, man. It touched the spot that we should have been short, 93 right there. But okay, we're in now to Tesla. So Tesla hits that 170. Now we got to deal with this. We're short at 169.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Reddit right now. It's still holding that 45 level, which is yesterday's low. So definitely something to keep an eye on. 47, if that breaks to the upside, definitely, hopefully that momentum comes back into the name. In terms of ALAB, we're still hovering around highs. Hopefully that has a little more momentum, but you got to just wait and be patient. Lulu, I don't know how's that doing. It's kind of in no man's land right now, which is fine. Look, this name is down 17%. If you're trying to find bottoms on names that are down 17% to go long for that mean reversion, you're going to take a lot of losers. So I have my stop in, I have my plan in place, and I have my out. So I just have to wait and be patient and see if it works out.
All right. I was just looking there. Mateo, our boy Mateo was messaging.
Mateo, huh?
We have.
He always has some good insights.
He always has some good insights. He and I were talking about Alibaba before.
Yeah.
And we do like that name, so we were just talking a little bit about that. All right, so let's figure out here about Alibaba coming back into 72. So again, I was just telling him that we've talked about this, but with some of the Chinese news coming out of there now, they're not sharing their economic numbers anymore. Well, I mean, they started to come back there. We did have a high print there in CPI, but when I look at something like, I think, is it QWeb? Is that what it was? No, it's KWeb, I think. Yeah, thank you. That is what it is. Yeah, there it is right there. So this is the Chinese, like the internet stocks. I always look at FXI, but you can see here, this had a nice little bump up. We've seen some good news, obviously, from PDD, although that report wasn't great. Billy was up today on news with Apple. More about FXI for me. I just wanted to see the health of KWeb there. But the FXI, this is the China 100. So again, we've had some nice moves up on the daily on some of these charts, but I don't know.
NVIDIA breaking out.
I'd rather wait. Breaking out upside? Okay. NVIDIA, Tesla just went to the downside. So you know what I was looking at though? Do we just want to go long NVIDIA because I'm still waiting for this short to come through here?
What's the plan, Sean? What's the plan?
What's the plan, Stan?
Yeah. Look,
the plan is I want another coffee, to be honest with you. I might have to go get one. I'm gonna get some Randy involved here. 170, no, don't worry about it. I'll get Randy. People like to see Randy.
Yeah.
You can take a break too. You want to take a break? I can get Randy on the show if you want. Okay.
You're ready sick of me?
I'm not.
No.
No. I was telling you before, if you wanted to chill out a little bit, we could do that. Okay, so there goes DWAC right now. I'm just hearing in my ear, got the approval. We'll wait to hear about that more right now. Oh, I guess Piper Sandler I just saw this. They potentially just slapped a price target of Nike at 98. So that, we might have just got sort of a intra-mark. That might be old, but it was Piper Sandler right there. I just saw a note, possibly a 98 price target for Nike. So I don't know if they just came out with that now or not. So right now, Reddit's kind of just dancing around. I'm going to reassess some AMD right now. What's up, Adara?
So I'm seeing the news on DWAC. It looks like the preliminary, the majority of the Digital World Acquisition Corp voters did vote in favor of merging with Trump Media and Technology Group. So basically the merger was approved based on what I'm seeing. Again, if I see any more details on that, I will let everyone know, guys.
All right, I'm going to short. Did you hear what I said, Ramin? Yeah, put the link in the chat. And we'll do that ASAP. All right, so I'm going to short Nike here quickly. We're just short at 60 right here. I do actually want to play that VWAP trade. So if it does come back up there, we said if and when we got stopped out, we did take some profit on the Nike trade, but eventually we'll go red. We'll be red on Nike right there on that trade. So we'll wait to see here. If it does come back up, I do want to trade near, in and around that 93. So we'll put an offer in and around 70, then we'll put one at 90, because the high's been 70. I mean, we ticked up there to 85. And again, that seemed like that might have been, like, why did we just rip up basically $1 there? Into VWAP, we're going to short until we break that. I'm trying to be as patient as we can here with Tesla because it's not going down. So I have to wait. I'm not going to get out at 170. We're going to take it up to 170.50 right now. Take that $1.50 hit, which is going to suck for sure on this trade. But honestly, it's at a key level. It's the reddest of most of these names here in the big tech land. I thought it had a pretty good catalyst. I mean, we had talked about that, and here's our watch list right here. Let me just pop this out, open it in the browser. We can talk about what the catalyst was there for today. So we had Tesla trading sharply lower. I mean, we were down 3-4% here. Bloomberg reported the company has cut down its vehicle production at its Shanghai plant. Less demand and increased competition. I mean, the less demand part is bad. And then not only that, you don't want to be in a less demand situation when competition is increasing. So I thought that would have been a bad sign. So let's just see what happens right now. Here goes Nike. We're back in the money now. This is a nice little win. We'll put that on. We'll face slap a little bit for Nike as we get that short into VWAP. That's the trade that we should have waited for. And guess what, Brankles? Here comes Tesla back to the downside. Let's take a piece out here at 50. We should have shorted more at 70, but we got to let this trade breathe. If I go YOLO or go all in there at 170, we've already sort of been wrong on this move up. So we don't want to, as we say, Neil says, stay wrong because, let's get out. If we have a bad trade idea, we can revisit that and get a different one. It's 10:20 right now. And by the way, Brankles, we didn't get the lunch yesterday, but we did get it today. So let's review what is for lunch, and then we'll go over and see what trade you have on board. So I have a feeling you're going to like what's for lunch today.
Chicken.
Stop ruining it, my guy.
It's always chicken.
All right, well, I didn't say it's chicken yet, but that was a good guess.
Ty and I had some issues with the chicken yesterday. Well, we're going to talk about that when I get off the show. Yeah.
What was the issue?
He took all the chicken.
I noticed that as well, yeah. Ty's a protein guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I went on the other side. So how many pieces of chicken would you say Ty had?
8.
8. And then how many?
Like a ridiculous amount.
And then how many potatoes?
Like 1.
1, okay.
Yeah.
So
He's not a carb guy.
On the other side, the reason why we're getting into this is that on the other side, I saw Raquel's post, and she had there 2 pieces of chicken and 2 pieces of potato for everybody. I was like, we had so many leftovers on that side, man.
Oh, as like a limit?
As a limit.
Ah.
I was like, what? And by the way, I didn't even really like that chicken yesterday. So, anyways, no, we're lucky enough around here that we'll get catered lunch.
Yes. Extremely lucky.
Extremely lucky. So, is it lucky? Yeah, but anyways, okay. So today's lunch is, and you are right about this one. We'll hit the chicken dinner winner on this one. We got breaded chicken fingers with potato wedges.
Oh, those are going to be gone in a flash.
So the reason why I say this is that's a great Friday lunch, is it not?
Yeah.
A quick little pub-style chicken. Breaded chicken fingers with potato wedges.
Oh, I'm excited.
Shout out to that one. Oh, on the way home yesterday, of course, the wife was super busy throughout the day, so I picked up dinner. It was really super quick. You know what we went to? I went to Loblaws. Not bad. They have a deal there where you get the roasted chicken, so it's already roasted there. They have those there. And 2 sides. Guess how much? The sides are just wedges. The reason why I thought about
$40.
Wedges and onion rings.
$40.
$16.99.
That's amazing.
Can you believe that?
That is amazing.
Swear. So I got a nice little French baguette on the side there. We had some chicken, some fresh bread.
$16.99?
Yes, dude. I think it's on right now at Loblaws. You get a roasted chicken. And shout out to Loblaws. We like Loblaws. Shout out to PC Optimum Points.
Yeah, I don't know.
You see anybody work for PC? I'm trying to
Vanessa works for, or not works. She collects
your future.
my future wife.
Oh, she collects them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a deal here. I'm trying to find someone that works there.
We love Loblaws.
There we go, Brankos. Find out how many points she has, and I'll tell you how many points Marissa has.
Oh, she spends them as she gets them.
Right, okay.
So,
yeah, for some reason we're stockpiling them and waiting for those like special days. But okay, anyways, $16.99. Roasted chicken, 2 sides.
No, that's amazing.
I feel like we'll be having
I'm more of a
chicken every day.
Costco guy, so we get the rotisserie chicken at Costco, but
I'm a Costco guy too.
Yeah, Costco
has the Costco chicken is like $8 or something.
Yeah, that's super cheap. Costco chicken with the Caesar salad. That's our Costco night meal.
I like Costco.
Yeah. Or the best deal in the world, Costco hot dog. Who here loves a good Costco hot dog?
I used to like them. Now it's
$150.
I know
with a drink.
You know what?
I don't even drink the pop. I just get a $1.50 hot dog and I give someone the cup.
Here's my cup.
Yeah. I literally go, does anyone want 80 grams of sugar. Here's a cup.
So they've actually said that that's one thing that they're really proud that they've never changed.
That's amazing. Yeah. Shout out
and I
Costco.
think it's a losing.
Can we get a Costco
membership?
yeah, I'd rather Costco than Loblaws.
I'd rather take both. People wondering how you spell Loblaw. 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 Oh, you know who used to work there? My uncle Bob used to work there.
Yeah, Bob?
Bob Loblaw.
There is always a Bob.
Bob Loblaw.
Bob Loblaw?
Yeah.
Bob Loblaw.
Lame joke. All right, over to the screen now with Adara.
Oh boy.
Sorry about that, guys. Just hearing that CNBC going to have Nike CFO speaking on there soon, so do be aware if you are involved in NKE CFO set to speak with CNBC. IWM a little bit to the downside right now, down about 0.7%, bit of weakness here for the Russell 2000. A lot of these small caps curling down a little bit as well. NVFY up about 100%, but definitely lower than it was earlier. No news on Nova Lifestyle, but they do have a float of under 1 million shares, around 937,000. So keep NVFY on watch here. We also have here ACB, one of these small cap cannabis related names. Germany partially legalizing cannabis. So nice look here for ACB and a lot of these other similar names. Last but not least here, AMTX. This is the second day this one is running after getting some approval for by the U.S. Citizenship Immigration Services for about $200 million. They do some renewable energy related work. So nice look here for AMTX.
All right, thank you, Adara.
I just noticed my name right here, Brandan. It's with an O. Come on, Fabian.
Wow, Fabian.
Yeah.
That's Neil's fault, I think. Okay, so, all right.
Short Neil. I don't know, I'm here.
Yeah, stop telling people that. Okay.
I love Neil, by the way. That's what.
Do
he's
you?
my guy. Yeah, he's my guy.
Yeah, no, we're just playing around, of course. So I just put there in the chat a QR code because, or not a QR code, it's QRCO. But this will get you to all of our links for the show. So you can go find us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram right now. So this is the markets in your pocket.
And Twitch.
So,
and Twitch.
Exactly. No, so this is just for the markets in your pocket. We were talking a little bit about that earlier. So if you are watching us, we do have a lot of mobile fans that are sit there. They'll be in a coffee shop or something. We often got people screen capping stuff, sending it to us, and how they were enjoying the stream. So shout out to Fabian, Brendan, Ramin, everybody, Mark, who I'm not sure exactly who worked on this, but everybody at Trader TV Live, because this is a pretty cool thing. And we've actually noted that we're getting a lot of viewers on this particular stream. So, we'll keep on promoting that because if it's something that you guys are enjoying, let's share it for everybody. So again, thank you so much for supporting that. It's our second stream and it's the vertical version. So not only now, if you're watching on your phone and twist it the other way, you get a nice little view there. So thanks to everybody for doing that. We also have more Trader TV Live where you can see our positions throughout the day.
Does it work on tablets?
The vertical one?
Yeah.
I would assume it does, but then
We got a yes in the
we got
back.
a yes. So there we go.
Right, so it works on tablets too.
It does work on
For you
tablets there. All right, $1.50 in the money on Reddit as we're starting to go now again. So let's see if we can take this level, man. 47.50 here on Reddit. We'll see if we can get going to the upside. I'm a little disappointed. We are only out of the money now, 30 cents on Tesla. I'm going to take another piece out. I'm just taking out like 5% at a time now. Okay, here we come back in. So, we want to be right on our trades, but then we don't want to be overly wrong. So what I mean by that is like, we always trying to go at least 1-to-1 on the risk, but sometimes you kind of try to cut your losses a little bit. And if it falls down, we still want to have the majority of the trade on, which we will have on. But as it tries to drip down into here, instead of taking out 10%, I'm going to take out like 5% of the position as we go down because we need to get something out, especially if we get to the 50 period. We just bounced clean off 169. We don't even have a 169 fill. Our best fills here is at 30, which is right now. So we're looking for that break through 169. Then a 50 period would be fantastic. And if we get that, then we're in the money. So that'll be all good. And then VWAP and then lower as we want to try to stick with the plan of action. Look what just happened for us again. Let's spin it, Brancos, because there it is again. It's a nice little money trade there for Nike. And look, we said this, you said this, and I don't think it's rocket science. Wait for the setups. We said, what about a move? Remember we said, play the gap back to VWAP. You can teach that if you want in your lesson. Maybe tell that to Wayne.
Yeah.
There's a nice move up from Brian Shannon. The
Yeah.
Anchored VWAP book
Yeah.
right there. So I know that's a book that's on the desk over there.
Great book.
Great book. So anyways, there it goes to the upside. It's so good of a book, I forgot that there was a chapter on IPOs.
Wow.
And then when he came on the show, I was like, how are we trading these IPOs? He goes, see chapter 11. So that was pretty important. But okay, so here we go. You know, we'll have a green day today, but we did lose on that first Nike position. We'll get it back now. And now we'll see where Nike goes from here. We'll hope that it continues to move to the downside for that trade. And what's getting juicy right now is Tesla, because now we're in the money. So finally in the money here on Tesla. It just bounced though off of 169. Let's put another bid right here. We'll cross that bid and we'll get out there at 169.07. Now we'll see if it drops in. Yeah, let's go. Now we'll see if we can do this. And remember what I said before? It was the same sort of talk. You got to let trades breathe.
Yeah.
And although sometimes when we're talking this fast, it seems like we have inability to breathe. But at the same time, this is one thing that's changed, honestly. And I know it's changed for you guys too, and we talked about that. I can sometimes see, I look over and you'll have like a nice, huge, not a huge winner on, but like one that's extended probably past where maybe you would have gotten out in the past.
Yeah, so a lot of that has to do with just like
the current market we're in, I feel like, has been so aggressive.
yeah, but it's also, I think a lot of it has to do with like what's and I'll keep repeating myself, what's the plan going in? Is
Right.
this a trade that I'm like, this has a potential to go? If so, then what I have to hold for the move, right?
Yeah.
And that usually occurs when? In the morning and in the power hour, right? That's when the volume's coming into the market. That's when there's the biggest potential for moves, right? Obviously, Reddit was a little different because it opened at 1 o'clock, but it's essentially the same thing where as stocks are opening, as that volume's coming in, those are when the potential moves are going to come fast. So if that's your play, then you got to hold for that move, right? When it becomes midday, kind of when like Sharif and Adara come on, that volume's kind of dying down, and you got to maybe be more in that scalp mentality, right? So yeah, you just got to play by your own rules.
100%. Take market timing as very, very important. Although I've said this before, I've come back on the afternoon show, and I find out actually sometimes I trade better on the midday.
Yeah,
because
you're more of a scalpy guy. Like you want to get
that
in
too.
and
But
out.
I was also going to say the levels.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you'll just get a stock running up to a VWAP or running somewhere, and you're like, okay, I actually like that short, and then you have more confidence because there's some defined.
Structure.
Yeah, there's just more defined levels.
Yeah.
You know, like now we can clearly see on a stock like a Nike or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where the levels are for Nike, or like 92 could be good support.
Yeah.
Potentially up here, but off the open, very, very tough sometimes to judge that. So I think patience is very, very key in everything that we're doing.
What's interesting is like
Come on, Tesla.
It's so cool to see how personality bleeds into people's trading. Like for me, I'm like I just want to trade for 5 to 10 minutes a day, have a good day, and be done, and just like be like, all right, I'm done. But you do have a lot of guys that come in and just like want to grind all day, right? So what's funny is like most people get into trading for it not to become a 9 to 5.
Right.
But what ends up happening is people sit here from 9 o'clock to 4 and trade all day. So for me personally, like why I got into trading was to get away from a 9 to 5, even though I got a 9 to 5 because of trading, which is funny. But for it just depends on the style of trader, right?
100%. And I think it's about knowing your plan. And that's what we said. Like Neil will have a completely different style than you, than me, than Obi, than Sharif, than Adara. And that's where you want to practice your wares. Like you don't just want to always hop into something because I say something or you say something.
Yeah.
Get the traders, we have so many examples of traders behind us that'll take 3, 4, 5 months to find even what symbols they like. Get them on Tesla.
You
get
gotta
them
play
on
the field
Palantir. Right, exactly. See what is available, and what's available right now is another money-making opportunity. So we'll go drop some money down here for Tesla because here we go, Brankles. We just shorted 170 was our last fill, and now we're starting to get some out at 169ers. So, all right, good little trade there. Reddit's still $1 in the money. And by the way, Nike, hey, what about if we break this time 92? Well, let's not answer that question too much. We'll get a piece out right there, and there it goes again. We reload that position in Nike, and we're pretty happy with that one. So let's go over to Adara and find out what is up with crypto.
Yesterday afternoon, BlackRock, so this is the fund that brought us IBIT, one of the more popular of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, now apparently unveiling its Ethereum, a fund on its Ethereum network. So this one has announced the launch of its first tokenized fund. It's going to be BUIDL as part of its larger digital asset strategy, and it will be on the Ethereum network. So interesting look there for BlackRock. We also do have Bitcoin continuing its move in this really tight 62,000 to 68,000 range over the last couple days. Right now, just above 63,000. A lot of weakness across the board here. Pretty much all these major cryptocurrencies to the downside. Bitcoin down 6%, Ethereum down 6.5%, just holding on to that 3,300 level. Solana down 12%, Ripple down about 3%. So weakness across the board here for pretty much all of these major cryptocurrencies. And we are brought to you by Benzinga Pro. Sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders with code TTV, capital letters. Use the link in the description to go to checkout.
So we're hearing right now that DWAC approval to turn into that social media site is what's going to be wind up happening. And look what's happening now to DWAC. Remember, when they're going to get their own symbol, and we're going to find out more about this, but there's the move down right now. It's going to be SSR here, Brankles. I think we're going to have to pay for shorts on this, but it is starting to reel to the downside right now for Digital World Acquisition Corp. So starting to make the move down here. We'll get it. We just talked about Benzinga. So whatever I do when I see this is I go into just type in DWAC, push enter. You know, it's a button on the keyboard, you know, generally gets things pushing. And then we'll wait for this. Not a good opportunity for me to do this right now because it's not loading for some reason. So it's probably our internet, nothing to do with Benzinga.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for that one. But here we go. Nice little push down for Tesla. And guess what? It's not $1 yet. We won't hit that one yet there, Branko. So you know, it's not club time yet. But here we go. Nice little push down there for Tesla. Here it is. So there it is right now. I apologize for that. I don't know. Sometimes we have so much information coming through here. It's ridiculous. There it is. Preliminary majority of DWAC shareholders favors merging with Trump Media and Technology Group. So there it is right there at 10:20. Looks like the majority will get that going. Now we'll have to see what's happening with TMTG. So on Friday. So we'll find out here what exactly that means for DWAC. I haven't been a big fan of IPOs or SPACs or anything like that.
What a crazy story.
And there it goes with DWAC. Most likely, you know what? We don't talk about politics, but maybe it is important to figure out, like in the polls, because if he's going to be the next president, and that's where he's going to be conducting his social media ventures, we know how much.
It's going to be important.
Yeah, I mean, we know how important sort of Twitter and social media has been, especially during the Trump campaign.
Yeah.
And even when he is the president, he likes to use platforms to reach the people. So DWAC there, very interesting. What's up, Adara?
Just some more context on that, the DWAC decision. So it has been approved, but the deal is actually uncertain as to whether or not it will go through because there are some suits on both sides trying to block the merger. So DWAC's former CEO and some of Donald Trump's business associates have both on different sides separately tried to block the merger, saying that they're basically entitled to more shares based on their work for the previous deal. So just some context there. This has been approved, but it hasn't necessarily gone through, though apparently what I'm seeing is if all goes well, some people are expecting the deal to be completed next week. So still some uncertainty with regards to DWAC, guys.
It's two.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just talking about cannabis. So right now, CGC is going insane. And by the way, we've got another Dollar Club winner on our hands right now with Tesla, finally. So there it is. So we can celebrate Brankos. We've got $2. So by the way, we're holding 3 positions, 80 cents in the money on Nike, $2 in the money on Reddit, and again, another $1 there on Tesla. And just to your point about like, you know, time of day and everything like that. The market is slow right now. There's nothing happening. There's not that much volume in the market, really. Yeah. I mean, this is what's happening, and you're still able to find monster trades. So, you know, you got to wait for your levels and take care of that. There goes Reddit, by the way, Brankos. I think if we could break VWAP, we're gonzos, man. Here's another trade. This is $2 in the money off that bottom. I've been really busy today. I haven't been able to tweet out some of the positions, but I mean, you guys can see the damage that's being put on here. Nice little trade there for Tesla as that came back in as well, right there. And we just took some more outs. We'll wait now for a downside push. I mean, the market's underneath. Tesla's been weaker than the market. If this really starts to go down, we could see, you know, some extended moves here, even more than what we currently have. So.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I really like that Reddit trade. Like 45 was that low of yesterday. So the fact that it really held, you know that people are looking at it, whether it be retail or like kind of bigger institutional people. Like there's a reason why levels hold, and it's because of institutions. So the fact that 45 held yesterday, look, you know, obviously we want more than 47.40 at this point, but hey, like that's still a great trade. Good job.
Yeah. We always want a little bit more than that. I'll highlight that a little bit later on the stream. We could do a walk and talk about that. Let's look at ALAB quickly here. Another one that would be moving around a little bit today. Here's ALAB. So yeah, not much. We get to that 70. I think you mentioned that earlier on that spike when you were looking to see what the high of ALAB was yesterday.
80,
yeah. And then, yeah, so I think we got to wait a little bit until we get going on that one. So $68. Again, look at the spread. For me, that's a puff pass on that one. Oh, we did talk about CGC a little bit here. So I'm guessing that, yeah, they must smoke a lot of weed in Germany.
Medicinal. It's medicinal.
Sure. Yeah, because doctors don't write prescriptions for no reason. Come on, dog.
Hey.
I told my kids, it's like, yo, if you could be anything, man, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be a dentist, be something like that.
Pothead?
Not a pothead.
Okay, just double check.
Yeah, and I just want to tell you, like, when and if you have kids, do not give that advice to your kids, Brancos. Do not tell them to be potheads. Tell them to be something like what I was saying there.
I might have kids soon.
You are going to? Is that?
I might, yeah. That's crazy.
The only way to go.
I'm getting married in May, by the way, so. Cash?
That was the cash register, but I meant to hit congratulations.
Oh.
It's going to, the thing is, you know, again, Russian, right? What is she?
White.
White.
I don't know. She's
don't know?
She's like German, English, French, Canadian. I don't know.
You're
white.
marrying her, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know when her birthday is.
That's good. And I want to make sure that you also don't forget your anniversary.
Yeah. But
I know, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, once it happens.
May.
Don't worry about it, but I'm just saying, those are two things. Her birthday and the anniversary is something that you definitely...
Flowers,
and then
flowers, chocolate, and jewelry. One of the
You're sure
the
she
three.
said yes, right?
I was I was surprised.
Yeah. You have it in writing or on video or anything?
Yeah, we have pictures.
Okay, you have pictures?
Yeah, there's proof.
Thing with AI, it's okay. All right, so... All right, well, yeah, congratulations to her and to you, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting year for sure.
Good, man. That's what it's all about. Yeah. So congratulations on that one. Let's get some big trades. The reason why I hit the cash register is, and why I asked you about nationality and things like that, is because nowadays, if you invite the right people, sometimes your wedding can get paid for. You know what I'm saying? They give the gifts.
Actually,
and you have like, anyways.
It's only going to be us.
Oh, you're eloping?
Yeah. Everyone knows, so it's not like a real elopement, but we're actually traveling to South Africa. So we're going to get married.
Actually, I knew that.
We're getting married in a safari. So hopefully we just don't get eaten alive.
Yeah, and you know, while you're there, you know what you should do is, and we could do this for the show, you could expense it a little bit. Why don't we do Naked and Afraid Trader TV style, and then you and her spend 21 days in the Amazon?
That's a little intimate for my liking.
Is it too intimate for you? Okay. Yeah. All right. I just think that would be fun.
Can we just be afraid? Do we have to be naked?
Part of the show is, unfortunately, it's called Naked and Afraid.
Okay.
So, yeah, they give you like a little... Have you never seen that show?
No. I've heard of it, though.
I really like that show. We actually, the wife and I watched...
Do they blur? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, do they blur? Yes. It is on...
I don't know if it's on after 12. I don't know if they have to blur.
Yeah. It's not like that kind of Naked and Afraid. Okay. It's just what they try to do is survival. So it's like they put you in...
But they are naked.
And some of them are afraid as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's go over to the to the screen and
my dad probably watches.
Talk quickly to Adara.
Pretty flat on the day right now for the S&P 500, though we do have some outsized moves here. Some of the chips still strong. NVIDIA, after its GTC conference ended yesterday, still strong here. AVGO, Broadcom also seeing some strength. Google to the upside here in technology services with that Wedbush price target increase and being added to Wedbush's best idea list. So nice look here for GOOGL. Some weakness in certain sectors. Finance a little bit weak to mixed across the board despite a strong performance yesterday off of still recovering or still working off of that Fed related news on Wednesday. We did get the commercial services sector a little bit weaker here. Tesla still a bit weak here in consumer durables, but overall pretty blank and flat look across the market, guys.
Thank you, Adara. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like right now, as we start to approach some of these lows right here, we're just going to hold on to some of the trades that we have. We have the long Reddit, we have the short Nike, we have the short Tesla, and let's start looking again. So a big name. So, oh yeah. That all started with us talking about Germany and
that went off.
and CGC. But welcome to the jungle, my guy.
Yeah,
this is what we do all the time. We just have a great time here. But I was looking at this CGC and
that was great.
Immediately,
that was great.
Because that's one of my favorite animations of all time.
Yeah, that was sick.
If those of you on the show ever hear me say Weed Batman, that's the Weed Batman. Dun-dun-dun. You never watched that Batman before where they did pow, bang, oomph.
No, that's probably before my time.
Yeah, that's where we came up with that.
Yeah.
That's where we came up with all of this. All right, okay, so I just want to say CGC is back to the highs of the reverse split. So again, I'm only down about 98% on my CGC shares, so I was thinking about potentially holding on.
I'm with you with the weed stock.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got a couple.
So I was debating holding on, but now that I see that we've basically come all the way back to 22, now again, you know what? Forget about this. I have to call up another chart because our charts don't show the splits properly. So this is how bad it's been. So you go down from 48 bucks pretty much back in 2022, and if I put a weekly chart on this, I may...
Puke?
There might be something that happens here. So in its heyday here, this is when Canada legalized everything. Basically, CGC was $525. So when I say I'm down 98%, like here's $500, it's now worth $5.
I mean,
So
it's
that would
still
be
worth something.
minus 95% or so, all the way down there. I'm just joking. I'm not down 98%. I'm down like 78%. So I'm probably long somewhere in here. But it's just been destructed. So I don't really know what to think about all this. Like when I look at the charts and we sort of think about it, I mean, I just look and say you're right back here. You're crossing the 200 period. You know, if these are some possible outs, this goes all the way back to the beginning of the year, 2023. So again, that could be some areas where you're looking for something. So maybe $7 or $8 on a dream move up for CGC. I mean, that's another, and we could do it. I mean, you're up 25% today. So you have another day like that, and then you're into 650, and then, you know, you're not too far away from that 750. So I would look at CGC as possibly fading these tops. But again, if you're stuck in position, you're stuck in position. And I don't think what's happened in the past is not necessarily a sign of what's going to happen in the future. If you were a buyer of Canopy anywhere on some of this news over the last couple weeks, this would be a spot, honestly, where you may want to be considering taking something out on CGC. So that's my thoughts.
And if you think about the bigger picture, like how many countries are still have weed as an illegal substance.
Right.
So as kind of that more modern approach to weed comes in, more countries are going to come out with better and better news, and these companies are hopefully going to be better prepared to service the needs of people that want to smoke marijuana. And so these stocks could, like the market cap or the market potential of these stocks are still huge. So it's just about being patient and waiting for more news to come out, like Germany today.
All right. Yeah. I mean, those are all. I mean, that's good talk right there. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we're waiting for, is a little bit more approval across the world. And you said it was just medicinal and things like that. So, okay, we'll wait for all of that. Let's look for some more trades. We did talk about Nike $92, and I just saw someone in the chat. It looks like you guys nailed that. So we'll go props up to that. It does look like Nike's going to hold down there. Now we only have about a third left of that position, but it's like 20% left of everything. We were able to cover some there at 92.07, and it does look like 92 holds. So watch out for this 93 break. Again, we still want to trade in our pocket here. So I am going to re-short up here. Let's get some more. Actually, I do have an offer already. So I already have an offer at 92.90. So VWAP is now at 80 though, that I see this. So it's come down a little bit. So let's reload a little bit right here in the 60s, and then let's put something up near VWAP, and then we already have a break. I got to change that now. Now if we can break above 93, then we'll get out. But see, we just recognized that we got a little closer to VWAP. So guess what, guys? You know what level we just shorted there? 63s. Now it's back in. It's only 10 cents. Let's see if it falls back. But I like this short into 93. So now we have an average price of 64. So we'll take a 40-cent hit if it goes to the downside, or sorry, goes to the upside. And to the downside, that same 40 cents is all the way down at 92.20 right now. Brancos, you almost did it, my guy. We're almost done. We have 14 more minutes left.
This is tougher than it looks. I give you a lot. I give you, Neil, and like all Adara and Sharif a lot of credit. Like, it's exhausting.
Yeah, but you
just
didn't give us much credit before.
No.
Okay, but I do really appreciate that. No, because we do talk about that on the show. It's tough because the thing is, I never stop thinking about the show also.
Yeah.
So like, you see why I have my work email up here?
Mm-hmm.
So like an email just came in, I want to click on it, read what it says, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so sometimes you often get distracted. And I think that we miss some trades sometimes because of that, which is why it's so important that we have such a good community in the chat.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on.
That can give us a lot of different opportunities and potentially highlight some missed opportunities that Neil, myself, or anybody who's on the show may have had. So without any further ado, let's go see what Adara's up to.
IMAC Holdings still very strong today. BACK. This one does have a really small float, just below 1 million share float here. 5% of that is going to be a short float, market cap of about 1.05 million. So very small company here. BACK, very strong to the upside, guys.
I guess I'm not going to Ottawa then. Oh,
It's starting to snow already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Fail.
know it's expected,
Can I press
but it
the
was
button? Yes.
Yeah, the buttons work for you as well. So yeah, but
What's
no,
this?
that hit that more often. But yeah, anything you want, just because it'd be funny, because you're not Neil sitting there. That's all. There we go.
That's a classic Neil one.
Is there anything else you want to hit? Or?
Yeah, I'll hit all of these. I'm like a little kid.
Okay, we'll wait for that. But yeah, oh yeah, this is the one we like.
This is a good one?
Yeah, bang.
That's sick, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Brancos, for that. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a little bit of a bid here on Nike. It's holding 92.50. If we could.
I didn't press that.
And never forget, do not put
Did I?
on your pizza.
I don't think I pressed that.
Well, I didn't. Who knows? Probably Sharif did. Sharif did not.
We'll say I pressed
Ty
it.
did.
I don't know.
Ty did.
Come on, Ty. He's probably waiting for the chicken already.
He went to go wait in line. Yeah. He's coming back. There's no food there yet.
He's waiting.
back.
He's gonna take all. If he.
Oh, it's there already. Oh no, we better go. No, it's not. It's already gone.
Yeah.
It's already gone. It's already gone.
He went to check.
Yeah, we'll wait for the. It's breaded chicken fingers today. Okay, having a lot of fun here, which is always a good thing. We did not reload Tesla, but it did come up to 170 there. We did not reload Tesla up there at 170. So we're just really looking at Nike because it's starting to fall in a little bit here, and we do take that pressure off a little bit on Nike. We did take something out at 50. It is now into the 30s. So again, we'll see if we can have a little bit more diamond hands on this one. Wait for 92. Again, wait for this 50 period. We called that. So again, up to VWAP, back down to 50. We'll take that every time and see if it comes in again here right now. So that's going to be a trade. The one that's been the most disappointing for me today is going to be Reddit, unfortunately. It got going to VWAP, and I thought it was going to break that. Looks like it's coming back up. This is your opportunity to get out if you want to. It's $2 in the money for Reddit, but at the same time, we're trying to wait to see if we can break through VWAP right now. So let's go over to Money Talks with Adara.
Second in the row of a very strong green candle here for the DXY, breaking above this early area of resistance around that 104.20 area, pushing back above this. Let's see what we can do here around that 105, which was that earlier peak we made back around mid-February 2024. No real economic news today. We did have Feds Powell and Feds Jefferson speaking earlier today, but not seeing any updates from that. So it seems like kind of the normal comments there coming out of this. We do have Fed's bar, though, at 12 p.m. and Fed's Bostic at 4 p.m. next week as well. A lot of economic data to keep an eye on. We had the Fed meeting this week, so that was the big thing we had on watch for this week. Next week, though, we do get final GDP quarter-over-quarter numbers, so that's absolutely going to be on watch here March 28th on Thursday. So keep an eye on that. Right now, though, the DXY just continuing to the upside on a very light day for data, guys.
Again, Powell, I mean, not every day is going to have tons of information, but thanks to Dara for that one. We only have 10 minutes left in the show, and then we're going over to the midday show where they've been talking all week about different strategies of trading, definitely pullbacks or regression trades, things like that. And today's fake outs, so fake outs to breakouts. And, some of those can be tough.
Yeah.
And so you try to figure that out. And that's been a lot of the problem sometimes with trading some of those breaks early where you get really super excited. You think you have the trade, and then all of a sudden it'll break out and then just completely. You have an example? Let's do that then. CGC, so let's go. What do you want to talk about there?
No, it was a fake breakout, so fake out, right? Is that? Yep. And then it keeps going. So it's one of those things with fake outs is, you got to really like your level to put on the trade, and then you have to be what's it called? I've been talking for too long, even though Sean's doing most of the work. You have to be willing to be wrong, okay? That's why fake outs can really hurt people. It's because they get in, for example, 550, they're looking for this big move, and they don't really think about the consequences of the trade not working. I have my stop in, even though it faked me out and then ended up going, it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, no, those are good. I mean, that's kind of why we're doing this. So to try to figure out, what different strategies look like and when they work for you, when they don't work for you. So join, Sharif and Adair on the midday show, and then me and Branko will be back in the afternoon. And I was thinking we could have Randy on, talk a little bit about some cars, so we could do that as well. And have some fun there in the afternoon. As it's a Friday, you talked about popping some beers, but then of course, you have that trip tonight. And then I was upset about it too.
It's snowing, so I don't know.
Yeah, we have no, tonight is movie night at the school, at my kid's school. So me and Brendan will do the podcast. I was hoping that the snow would wait because, we wait a little bit after. Traders stay late, but tonight traders stay late to do the podcast. So we're here a little late tonight to do that. So I was hoping that just for, Ramin and Fabian and Brendan, that it would be good, conditions to get home later on. But we are getting one last, fingers crossed, one last dump here in the market.
Yeah. The video's still holding strong, though.
Of snow, not in the market, of snow. One last dump of snow, hopefully, before we can hit the links. Patrick is the golfer.
Yes, huge golfer.
That should be a lot of fun when that hits.
Yeah, what's crazy was April last year, we were golfing. So
April,
we're hoping for that this year. Like obviously,
it was 20. It was
22.
70 degrees last week. Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
70 degrees Fahrenheit last week, and now we're getting snowed on right here.
Look at you with the Fahrenheit. Good job.
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that. All right, so we just shorted again Tesla. We talked about waiting for 170. It came close enough. We just got some more shorts here in the 80s. We're going to get out if it breaks 170.50. Again, it's done this before and came back in. We don't have any losing trades on Tesla here. We did average up there, but then it was able to come back. And remember what we talked about? We were waiting for that 170. So we'll put on, shares up here, which is why we have better average prices right now. So I just put a bid down here to get out at 169.70. So if that comes back in, we'll take a little bit off there, 20 cents. And then I'm bidding nowhere until the 20s. So a little bit lower. Actually, now that I see the 50 periods at 50, let's just put a bid down there. Here we are. We're at 70 on Tesla. Let's put a bid down there at 55 and see if we can get that fill. So there it is, bouncing off 70 again. So hopefully it will fill us and we'll get that fill down there. So those are the positions that we're working with. We have Nike short. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so here we go. So maybe we can get Reddit going right now. If we hit these buttons, sometimes they work, Brankos. And then, so finally trying to break above VWAP. Honestly, target for me on Reddit is the kind of wait. I mean, let's just see. Will there be some buyers coming in here, take down the 200, and then I'm looking at 50, man. 50,
I like that.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
Your grandpa's stop.
Yep, the grandpa stop will be coming into place. Okay, so there it goes right now. Bang, 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 bang. One more time, hit the sirens because there's the Tesla reload to the downside, and now we're starting to get going here. We'll take a fill at 70, and then we'll see about a 50. We are bidding down here at 55 for this fill on Tesla, and it looks like that might not hit. So let's just put a 60 fill again. We'll cancel our 55s and get a low 60s. We're at 62. Oh, we just saw that, just missed us. All right, so good trade there to end the show with. We will look at some more marijuana stocks throughout the midday show as well. We'll talk about those. Aurora Cannabis is another one that was going today, up 14%. And I mean, look, again, reverse split. So this is not real. But you're going from $3 up to $4.50. Nice little move up there for ACB.
Tilray.
Yeah, go to Branko's screen there to Tilray.
What's interesting is like it seems like when these weed stocks have good news, they all trade well. Right? Like it's pair trading. So obviously the sector had good news with Germany. So like Sean mentioned, Aurora, Canopy Growth, Tilray. So these are all good names to be in today with Tilray being up 12% as well.
Yeah, we definitely like that Tilray move. Okay, we'll wait to see again if anything happens with Tesla and Nike. And then again, I wanted to mention to everybody, do we have, I should have asked for this again. The link to all of our podcasts, that code, I have to go find it because I want to get people to leave us notes. Like if there's any questions, we're always looking for questions on the podcast, right? Like what can I ask Brendan or what do they want to ask us or anything like that. So head over there, put some questions into either the chat right now or go back to our last podcast. Put it in, we'll review them, and then we'll see if we can answer some of those because we always get some interesting questions, and we want to make sure that we talk about them on the podcast. So go back to the last couple podcasts, and there it is right here. I see it. So we'll copy and paste this. We'll put it also in the chat.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, just 1 second here. Let me just show this, and then here it is right here. So go find it right now, the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. This is the link. I'll put it in the chat by pushing enter. Now it's in the chat. Go find it also. Tweet it out. Leave us some questions. Fire away, Brankos.
Who would you want to be like your guest on the podcast? Who would you want? Like if you could pick anyone you would like to talk about trading on that podcast, who would you want? Dead or alive?
Well, be someone alive. Because honestly, like I was thinking, we had this discussion about Cathie Wood versus Warren Buffett. And it was just like, I want to think about someone that might have some forward-thinking ideas.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And someone that could maybe change the game. Mm-hmm. So honestly, I mean, this is going to be very chalk, what I'm going to say, which means it's going to be a favorite pick of many people. I would like to have Elon on the show. I just think just because we could talk about a lot of different things, and not only that, I think it would be great for the viewers as well, for guys like me and Brendan to talk to him about some of that stuff. And I know a lot of people like the Joe Rogan experience with him on there as well. And I just think that, opening up and being a little more honest about things, because sometimes if I say I'd like to have someone that maybe some of the other shows have on, a lot of those people are just talking heads.
Yeah.
So they'll come on, they'll work for a major investment bank or a major bank period, and they'll just talk their own book.
Yeah.
I want to hear people that might have new ideas, that aren't afraid to say things that are outside of typical media. You know what I mean? So that for me would be one of those kind of guys to have on there. I mean, I'd also like to have even just someone cool like a Tim Cook or something, just to see hey, what's going on with Apple? I don't know.
We're
things
manifesting.
Like
We're manifesting right now.
What would you be interested in?
In terms of trading, my favorite trading book is Alpha Trader.
Okay.
So Brett Donnelly, if you guys could catch him on the show, I think he trades Forex mostly, but I think he'd be a really interesting guy for you guys to talk to. Okay. Also, have you heard of Nick Colas at all?
I have not.
Okay, so Nick Colas, he's been on a few podcasts on YouTube and stuff. I'm pretty sure he has his own YouTube channel as well. He's a former SAC Capital trader.
Okay.
So he traded under Stevie Cohen. So I would be interested.
So similar prop kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right. Exactly. So I'd be very interested.
Cohen would be a good one too.
That would be epic.
Yeah, I think we could rock it with him.
Yeah. So those are some big names.
So this is Bloor Street. Yeah, this is not outside right here, but it might as well be.
Yeah.
So yeah, my wife just took this picture. She's getting her eyebrows done. You know what I'm saying? So there it is right there.
Gotta
So
look
that's what
good.
it looks like outside right now. She said it's snowing like a lot, but it's melting. It's not super cold out right here. Check the watch.
It's early though. It's gonna be
I
snowing
know,
all day.
I know.
Wow.
That sucks. All right. Thanks. Right, without any further ado, I want to thank Branko's here, and we're going to throw it over to, and I want to thank Ramin, I want to thank Fabian, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls and everybody in the chat again. Hope you got some winners on board, man. We've got Nike, we've got Reddit, we've got Tesla. All are positive names for us today.
Let's go.
So we'll go 3 for 3, and we had a lot of fun, and we'll come back during the 2 p.m. hour. But for now, let's go over to the midday. Thanks a lot, guys.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday Show. That right there is your girl.